a third straight loss for the Arkansas Razorbacks. So you go with Ford and Hornsby. You share more of the load. How do they go about changes in the game plan? Tommy, that's where we'll start here on a Toyota Tuesday.
And we are going behind enemy lines this week, headed to Stark Vegas. Our coverage in Starkville presented by Mock Legal Solutions, a law firm offering reasonably priced legal services, and in most cases, hourly billing. There is no hourly billing, and know exactly what you're going to pay, because you'll never pay for emails, text, and calls as well. That's Mock Legal Solutions, real advice at a reasonable price. And that's obviously the focus is KJ Jefferson. Will he go? How much of this is, truly a concussion protocol? And they didn't use those words yesterday. In fact, Sam was clear to say, I didn't say that. And then when asked specifically, and it's a good question, is he in concussion protocol versus, is this just some gamesmanship with Mississippi State? I'd like to think that's really not where they're going. You're not using someone's health as gamesmanship, but it's football. I went back and watched just kind of that sequence last night to really understand the level of contact. I don't know enough about it, whether a slight hit and the way his head hit the ground really could produce a severe concussion. How do you know? But, at least from the untrained eye, which is ours, you can say, well, hell, that wasn't on a scale of 1 to 10. That wasn't anywhere probably near a 5 or a 6 from what we see in a routine play. But how do you judge that as knowing what he's going to be able to do Saturday? So at least maybe you can feel a little more comfortable about a quicker return, possibly, just based on going back and watching the play.
And there was the Tua Tagovailoa throwdown, and that was pretty severe in how it looked on TV. I just never know, because sometimes it doesn't look like a play looks that bad, and it affects a player a lot more than the other guy. I'm not one to diagnose or make a thought process on he has a concussion, it's a mild concussion, it's a severe concussion, he doesn't have a concussion at all. I just know this is going to be something that I know Mike Leach and his staff are wondering about, Sam Pittman and his staff are wondering about, and hopefully regardless of if it's a concussion or not, KJ is okay. I've had 2 in my life that are not fun to deal with, and some the repercussions are more than others. It just varies on the individual themselves.
Yeah, there's just no way to look at the play and say, hey, that is or that isn't. There's some that you can look at and say, well, that's a problem. But would you agree that wasn't the kind of play you had? But that doesn't, I guess, tell you anything. So I guess I'm trying to find a rainbow over that cloud somewhere that, hey, he's going to be fine for this week.
Well, so. you hope he would be, because Arkansas has a much better chance. I know KJ has not played his 2 best outings since he's been in a Razorback uniform these last 2 weeks, but you need him in Starkville to get a win or feel more confident that you have a chance in this football game, because you're kind of looking at the barrel of a gun right now of going 0-3 in your last 3 games, and this is not going to be easy. Mississippi State just rocked Texas A&M, and they get after the quarterback. So I know KJ or Cade or Malik, whoever's in there, is going to be under pressure as long as they don't get blocked up. And it's just not going to be an easy test, even though it's 11 a.m. I know Coach Pittman was kind of joking about, I'm glad it's 11 a.m. rather than having to play later in the night. This is not going to be an easy test for the Razorbacks on Saturday.
Well, there's no joking about playing at 11 versus 6 or sometime after dark down there. It's like any other stadium. It just gets noisier, and it just gets louder, and those cowbells just seem to amplify a little bit more. So, 11 a.m. games, traditionally have helped the road team maybe close the gap a little bit, but this is a good Mississippi State team. That's where you begin, is you got a team with a really good quarterback, pretty good defense, and this is not going to be an easy challenge no matter what time of the day they play.
877-377-6963 is our number to call or text in this morning. Let's go to Dixie Lynn in Pocahontas. Go ahead, Dixie Lynn.
Hey, good morning. I disagree with this Mississippi State analysis. I saw them at the Liberty Bowl on the 50-yard line on the Texas Tech side. Now, their quarterback is extremely good, and he should be a Heisman candidate, but they're still beatable.
Well, yeah, I don't think Tommy or I said this morning, Dixie Lynn, that they aren't beatable, but you're going to their house. You're going against the guy in Will Rogers who's playing his best ball since he has been in his career, and he is probably wanting a little revenge after what happened last year. He felt like he led the the Bulldogs down to what could have forced an overtime situation, and the guy, his teammate, I'm forgetting the kicker's name, missed another field goal. I think they even substituted him at that point, but that is something that I think he wants to get. And I still think that for Mississippi State, they feel like that they can contend for an SEC West title, and they already have a loss on the season earlier this year. Who'd they lose to? They're 4-1 LSU earlier this year. That was in Baton Rouge. But that's a football team that's playing with a lot of confidence right now. Not saying they're unbeatable, just saying it's not going to be an easy game.
No, and Dixieland, that's a great call, and I think that's the first time we've heard from you, so thank you for calling. Starkville's just a sneaky tough place to play. I mean, we think about the toughest venues, and we point to Baton Rouge. We point to Tuscaloosa. We point to Athens now. We look at Knoxville. But I'm going to tell you, Starkville's a hard place to go win. And this season, and most Razorback seasons, are defined about, can you at least split with the Mississippi schools? This is an important game. I mean, if you want to get to where you'd like to be in the bowl pecking order and just, hey, win 8 or 9 games this season, this is almost a must-win from that standpoint. You've dealt your 2 cards out that came up with L's on it already. I mean, it just becomes a math equation. You can't lose too many more games. You only lose 2 more and get to 8. So, I mean, this is an important game for a lot of reasons. You got a tough BYU game on the back of this. You got to find a way to, at a minimum, split these 2 road games, and you'd like to have this conference win that counts for a little bit more.
Yeah, that's an SEC West, and particularly on the SEC West side of things, the division that would help you just kind of have more of a case when it comes to you responding after these 2 straight losses. In this stretch, we knew looking at it ahead of the season when you played Texas A&M in Arlington, Alabama at home, going to Starkville, and then going to BYU before your bye. We knew it was going to be a difficult stretch, and the last thing Arkansas needs to do is go 0-4 in that stretch. You're 0-2 at this point. You feel like you should have beaten Texas A&M. Now you'd love to get a road win, which would mean a lot. And Sam Pittman, at that point, you'd be 3-0 against Mike Leach if you're Coach Pittman.
Yeah, and more than anything, you need to get some things settled with your defense. And this is going to be a tough challenge from that standpoint because Will Rogers is a very accurate quarterback, one of the better quarterbacks in this league that probably hadn't been talked about a lot heading into the year or even to this point. But this is not going to be an easy challenge because Mike Leach is going to have a game plan. His play card may only be about an index card, but they find a way to give you different looks, run about the same 6 plays. It's kind of his MO, and just death by 1,000 cuts. That's what they do. And Arkansas did not look good when receivers got into open field last week. It wasn't even so much missed tackles. It was never had a chance at some tackles against Alabama. Hey, it's time for the Burton Pools and Spa's annual hot tub warehouse sale. With over 8,000 hot tubs sold in their 44 years, no one else can match the sales and the service. You know, that phrase gets thrown around a lot, sales and service. Service is key with Burton Pools and Spas when it comes to a hot springs hot tub. They've got them in stock, ready to deliver right now, with savings during this warehouse sale up to $4,900 off, and payments as low as $80 a month right now with your approved credit. So don't miss the biggest hot tub warehouse sale of the year. It's going on now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com.
One thing's for sure, Arkansas desperately needs a win on Saturday. We'll talk more about that coming up, but I do want to touch on what happened in Monday Night Football.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to.
Radio is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Think about it.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lam Lee has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at TulsaWoundCenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Searching for the best UTV on the market but can't find it with any of the big name brands? That's where the Intimidator comes in. An American brand using American-made steel and built in Arkansas. Intimidator UTVs offer premium components as standard, unlike those other companies. Items such as doors, skid plates, heavy-duty frames, and comfortable seating, all at one comparable price. See why Intimidator UTVs are the best choice by visiting your local dealer, Horns Outdoor in Hot Springs, or visit hornsoutdoor.net.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
No House Advantage is changing the game by offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. Play in pick'em contests versus other people for a shot at winning $150,000 plus in cash. Download the app, choose a contest, select your player props, earn points for the correct picks, and climb the leaderboard for your shot to win big money every day. You can also test your skills versus the house and 20 times your entry if you hit all your picks. Bet on up to 5 player props, over-unders, or individual player matchups across every major sports league, including the NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, MMA. Tommy, got to be honest, I didn't watch a second of Monday Night Football last night between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams, but I did see a video of Peyton and Eli Manning discussing something I want to get into this morning.
All right, let's talk about it. We're brought to you by The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building a fence or a gate or any kind of fencing project you may have going on. They built some gates for me a few years ago. That's where we got started with The Fence Man, and let me tell you, this is a company you're going to like. They build you a great product at a great price. They even have 18 months, same as cash financing that's available as well. So if it's a fence repair or a major fencing project, the Fence Man is the one to call. 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Peyton and Eli had a little fun with the streaker last night.
I don't know if he's naked right now, but I think at some point he had no clothes on. He was running a post route
right across the 50, and a security guard took him out. But a nice hit, though, right? It was a nice legal hit. Yeah, I thought we could show that. Yeah, I understand.
I think we could. They don't want to talk about it.
I understand the A team couldn't show it, but the B team, we should be able to show that.
I think that's why. Here you go. Oh, yeah.
There he is. There he is. Yes.
Oh, yes.
That's what we're talking about. Wagner, a veteran, right? Get him down. Now get out and let these guys take over.
Oh.
You're going to love this. It looked like the streaker was revealing the gender of his kid, his future kid.
Oh, the gender reveal streak, huh?
He had a pink and flare almost, basically. It wasn't a flare, but it was like a smoke grenade.
Bomb or something?
Smoke bomb, something like that, and it was pink. And so people, and I haven't read too deep into the story, but that's what a lot of people were assuming he was doing last night, was revealing to his wife that their future child's going to be a daughter because it was pink.
Well, I imagine the wife already knew. I mean, I don't imagine he was revealing anything to her, but I always wonder. So these guys get in, and oftentimes don't even get their 15 minutes of fame. I mean, they get about 15 seconds of that. What ends up happening? I mean, what is the consequence of entering a field like that?
Criminal trespassing?
Oh, it's more than that, I would think. I mean, what are the fines? I can't imagine they go to jail, but how disruptive is this to your life? Is it worth it? I guess is what I'm trying to get to the bottom line on.
When's the last time that Arkansas football has had a streaker?
That Ole Miss game, I guess. The Fort Smith guy that did it. And I've been
what
told
year was that?
Oh, that'd have been maybe 20 years ago, 02-ish, 03, somewhere right there.
I was thinking Matt's final game was 04. So that
it was a home game. Bill Carver was the state trooper that tackled the streaker at that Ole Miss game, who wasn't truly a streaker, but we were all thankful that he wasn't, truly the definition of that.
thick.
And then he was covered in the coat by John White, the chancellor, had a trench coat on, and they wrapped him up to escort him out of the stadium. So, I happened to be seated in those chair backs that are on the front on that end of the stadium. I thought, what's this guy doing? I thought it was some kind of stunt the U of A was pulling, and then it became obvious because this guy was down there kind of getting ready when there was bleachers in front of the old Broyles Center. It had like 5 or 6 rows of bleachers down there, and he kind of popped out of there and out on the field he went during a timeout. And that's, to me, I don't remember another time that's happened.
Try to think of one at Baum Walker or Bud Walton Arena. If y'all think of one, 877-377-6963. But to your question, I don't know what the severity of the punishment is outside of criminal trespassing. I would think that they wouldn't go to jail. That just doesn't seem.
Oh, I bet they visit jail though.
Yeah, that.
I bet they visit for a little bit.
I just don't know why you'd want to do that.
Well, generally because you are intoxicated and you make a poor decision, and your buddies promise to bail you out, and your buddies make all these promises if you'll do it, and you succumb to peer pressure. Yeah, that's exactly why you do that. Because I don't think anyone's went on to some grand career or it was the springboard into the best to living their best life based on, well, how'd you get all this started? How did this mountain of cash and this fame and fortune that you now enjoy, how did it all begin? No one says, well, there was this one time I went to my favorite team's game and I streaked across the field. I mean, I don't know anyone that's really made a career of it, so to speak.
So don't do that in Starkville. That doesn't seem like it would
help. If you're going to do it, I guess you got to ring your cowbell running across the field. I would recommend probably not doing that.
I probably do want to come back with a cowbell as just a memento. I think that just to have and to take with, because I know for each SEC institution there's something special about that said school or something that's most known. It doesn't have to be special, but it can be most known, and they're definitely known for the cowbell. So I think I want to come back with one of those this weekend.
Yeah, someone's texted in, B. in Clarksville said, don't look, Ethel. I mean, Ray Stevens probably made a lot of money off the streaker, but that's a pretty good song. You even know what I'm talking about when I say that? Don't look, Ethel. Doesn't ring a bell with
you?
All right.
Nope.
It's lost on a whole generation, folks. The greatness of Ray Stevens.
We're talking about Monday Night Football. Did you see the stats for Amazon on Thursday nights from Front Office Sports?
Nope.
Apparently they're actually doing relatively well, like busting double-digit millions thus far, which a lot of people apparently didn't expect them to get 8 or 9 million. And again, I have, let's see.
So you're saying there's 10 million plus.
Yeah, 10 million plus. And a lot of people.
A good NFL game in the playoffs gets, 17, 18 million usually, maybe 20, I think I'm right on that. And then so 10 would be a good audience, which, now with digital and all of this, and you can push a button and actually know the true number of stream connections, right? I mean, the technology for this allows for that. What's that tell you about the other games? But tell me there's probably more than the estimates that are based on digital boxes and market samples. There's probably more people actually watching than we realize.
I think. And I also factor in Tommy bars, like when you have 7, 8 TVs at a bar and there's 50 people watching, we don't necessarily calculate that. Because
the Amazon wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I mean, that one streams on.
I always think it's more tended like you that's initially said, but I was kind of surprised to see it again. 13 was first week, 11 was the second week, 11.7 was the third, and I think some people were a little, like myself, were a little surprised that it was that many. And like you said, there's probably even more with terrestrial television that doesn't have a true click button. I know exactly
linear
what it is.
TV.
Yeah.
I mean, so because the way they sample these now is they put a box in your house if you live in a metered market, they call it, and your house represents X number of thousands of houses. So if you're watching it, they're making the assumption out of that sample size so many others are watching. They don't truly know. With streaming and digital, just like if you're listening online right now, we could go in there and push a button and know how many people are listening online, and that would be an accurate count. Same thing with this Amazon deal. So that would lead me to believe there are more people watching on a Sunday when they can't take a truly accurate count than what we estimate. That's what I would think about it. So,
I think I would agree with you on that front.
So if I'm the NFL, I'm using that against the TV partners in my next negotiation rounds because this is probably some good data for them. Hey, another place to get some good data would be over at Art's Barbecue because I can tell you this about the data. They got great barbecue with their baby back ribs, but I want to talk about their catfish for a minute because, a lot of times I've got a little hankering for some catfish. Where do you go? Well, Art's Barbecue has catfish specials all the time. And in fact, on Friday, it is Catfish Friday every Friday at Art's. They have an all-you-can-eat special on Friday nights. And it's big old fillets. I mean, a lot of times you go someplace and they give you 2 or 3 little dinky old fillets. They don't fill you up. You don't feel like you got your money's worth. Well, at Art's, you're never going to leave that way. Try the catfish the next time you're there at Art's Barbecue, Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Jump back into Arkansas's quarterback conversation next.
ESPN Arkansas's coverage behind enemy lines in Starkville, Mississippi is presented by Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price. A law firm offering reasonably priced legal services to our hometown community.
Cooler weather is on the way. Is your heating system ready? Let Ashley Air get your home ready with their $69 fall tune-up special. Ashley Air's trained technicians will check your system and make certain it's heating your home efficiently. It's just part of Ashley Air's 100% satisfaction guarantee. On game day, call the Hogs. When your heat needs repaired, call Ashley Air. Get your $69 fall tune-up now. Just go to AshleyAir.com to schedule your tune-up. That's AshleyAir.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics.
It's time for the Burton Pools and Spas annual hot tub warehouse sale. With over 8,000 spas sold, no one else matches the sales and service that comes with a Burton hot tub. We have hot spring hot tubs in stock and ready to deliver, and they're all on sale. You'll save up to $4,900 off MSRP with payments as low as $80 a month with approved credit. Don't miss the biggest hot tub warehouse sale of the year going on now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and Fort Smith. Visit burtonpools.com for more information.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
The Golf Nut has been Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994. Beat the heat. Book a time in their hitting bays with the TrackMan technology or play around on one of the many courses like Bethpage Black or Pebble Beach. Needing help with your game? Call Matt Brooks today and schedule a lesson using the simulator. For the best selection of clubs, shoes, and apparel, stop by the Golf Nut today. 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Your #1 stop shop for everything golf.
You know, fall in the natural state really is the best. Football, fantastic weather, and some of the country's most beautiful scenery. At Rath Auto Resources, we love fall because prices are falling on all of our Rath Road-ready vehicles, making this the time to save on your nicer, newer car. And it's so easy. Just call, click, or come by. Let one of our friendly, non-commissioned solution specialists do all the work. It's their job to help you find just the right car, get you extra for your trade, take care of all the financing, and make sure you leave in a car of your dreams at a price and payment that fits your budget. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center. Philip and his team know how to take care of your car. More importantly, they know how to take care of you with convenient, affordable total car care and savings like half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Why wait? Start enjoying your fall now in a nicer, newer car from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Goodbye, banking with limits. Hello, banking as it should be. The mobile apps from Arvest Bank give you the power to bank how you want, when you want. Pay bills, send and receive money, deposit checks, and lock your Arvest debit and credit cards. Need a mortgage? Get pre-qualified and track your loan's progress. You can even text your own personal banker and not have to wait on hold. With mobile apps from Arvest, say goodbye to limits and hello to possibilities. Arvest Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Studies have shown that people who can count to 5 without saying 1 or 3 can also enjoy the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal at Hardee's. Choose from a sausage and egg biscuit, country fried steak, or biscuit and gravy, now for less. That means more made from scratch biscuits for me. Bite into the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal only at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Tax not included. Available for a limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price of participation may vary.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like me.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service is all about God, family, and our country, and they proudly display the red, white, and blue. At High-Tech, they specialize in truck and trailer repair, service, and are certified in refrigeration repair. And every day, give thanks to those who have served our country and paid the ultimate sacrifice for folks like you and me. High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service, located in Van Buren at 6410 Alma Highway or at 479-474-2220.
Spooked by the thought of a custody battle with your ex? Get the chills thinking about high hourly billing from another lawyer? Don't hide in the dark. Call me, Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Divorce and custody can be scary. You need an attorney who can help at a price you can afford. At Mock Legal Solutions, we offer flat fees and payment plans. Call today. The first consultation is always free. 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Jefferson gives it to Sanders straight ahead, fighting for the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff. Presented by Randall Ford and Bud Light.
We're very confident with him in practice. You know, he's done really well in the 2-minute situations. He's a good quarterback, and he has experience. We also believe in Malik. If anything happened there, we still think we have two really good quarterbacks that can. They're certainly different.
That's Coach Pittman talking about Cade Fortin and Malik Hornsby. Don't know just yet if KJ Jefferson and company are going to be ready for Saturday's game, particularly not company, but KJ, if he's going to play or not. Really don't have any updates for you on that. Coach Pittman, we played that audio at the top of the open. We'll have to wait and see. We do know, Tommy, that practice Wednesday is going to be key for whether he plays or not.
Can't tell you on the depth chart released in the notes yesterday, Cade Fortin was actually listed as the number 2 quarterback there. So, and you won't find you won't find Malik Hornsby listed at any of the positions in the 2 deep. So, there was that, I guess, noted change yesterday after what we saw on the field. But, we've been saying for a couple of weeks we thought this would be how it would go. So, we'll see if a start is needed at quarterback by someone other than KJ. Let's see what happens on Saturday, but there's no reason to believe it won't be Fortin if KJ's not able to go. So, hey, we're brought to you by World of Wireless. Right now, tailgating, deer camp. Maybe you're going bow hunting right now and you're spending some time in the woods and you want to be able to watch TV on the go, games at 11, whatever you might be doing. Maybe that trip to the lake or whatever's going on. Hey, the Playmaker system from World of Wireless is the way to go. In fact, as I was walking up to the stadium, I saw a bunch of these around campus this weekend. It's easy to use, weighs about 8 pounds. You just put it in the back of your car. It's not hard at all to set up. Anyone can do it. All you do is set it out, line of sight. Some people had them up on kind of top of their tents or top of their trucks. Makes it really easy to set up and watch TV at your tailgate. Get your Playmaker system, the easy-to-use portable satellite system from World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. They'll answer all your questions. It's 877-305-3474 for World of Wireless.
Brandon texted and he says the depth chart is dead to him. I guess he is not a fan of the depth chart and
why you should listen here.
Perception. JT in Hot Springs asking, could we possibly see a 2-quarterback system if KJ can't go? I tend to believe that if that is the case, JT, then 100%. I think you'll see Malik in some situations. They'll have the packages designated for him at the quarterback position. Cade Fortin will start, play the duration of the game. But yeah, I tend to think that could be how it shakes out on Saturday if KJ can't go.
So if Malik comes in, what are they going to do?
You're talking about what the defense is going to do or what Kendall Briles
no,
and company are
what's the offense going to do if Malik's in there?
Assume run the football.
Assume. That's all they can. I mean, until Malik shows you the ability to be a effective passer to some limited degree, that's the problem. He can't throw the football apparently. We've seen no evidence of it. So the biggest issue is you can just go ahead and bring all 11 in the box because there's very limited chance that he's going to throw the football. So that makes it a challenge having him at quarterback until proven otherwise. I mean, there's no evidence otherwise that he's going to be able to have any kind of a balanced offense for you.
But that you still don't would you still anticipate that Briles would pull him in there? Because I agree 100% with what you said, but he's still going to play on Saturday, I would think.
It's almost like we have this, it's not just you, but I just hear, we get text and calls, it's like there's some kind of, I'm searching for the right word. Affection isn't the right word I'm looking for, but it's like the fan base is, or there's a portion of it that feels like there's some kind of requirement that Hornsby gets X number of snaps in every game, KJ or no KJ. I mean, I'm struggling to find that connection or why people feel the way they do about it.
I think
when we've seen no evidence of, hey, this can lead you to something.
I think they feel that way because he's the fastest. He's been described as the fastest player on the team, and they feel that he hasn't been properly used. Whether you think that's the case or not, that is what and I'm not advocating that's what should happen. I'm telling you that I think that's going to happen. If KJ can't go, we're going to see Malik featured in some plays at quarterback and maybe even at wide receiver too, depending on the status of Warren Thompson, who didn't play last week.
Yeah, that's another question right there. But if KJ can't go, how much of that's just on Fortin? If Fortin plays well and he's in a rhythm, I don't know that, do you insert Hornsby into that and disrupt
hope not.
that?
You don't want to disrupt that.
Yeah, I mean, we saw this in the A&M game, that disrupt what proved to be a disruption in the end to the offensive flow. So now here's the question. Where are you at as an offense if Fortin comes in and the moment's too big for him? He can't run the offense when it's all on the line. What happens then? I mean, Hornsby's got to be your guy, so what becomes of the offense at that point?
Run.
Work in the SEC?
I mean, it didn't last. I mean, Pittman just said last week after the Alabama game we're becoming too one-dimensional. And I know Alabama's probably the best defense that you'll play all season. That being said, you can't go into Starkville with just the ability to run the football, which you've shown every single team this season that you can run the football at times. But you have to be able to pass it too. And they have not been consistent enough in that area. I don't know if Cade's insertion, if he does play on Saturday, changes that dynamic. And I don't know if some other wide receivers make some plays. What we do know is that Mike Leach, I'm forgetting his defensive coordinator, but he is not at all afraid to come after the quarterback this year. They are going to blitz and blitz a lot. Yeah. So Fortin's going to have some one-on-one matchups. It's just a matter of if him and the wide receivers can be on the same page and take advantage of it. Again, this is under the assumption, which we don't know one way or another, if KJ cannot play, then Fortin's going to have to take advantage of those one-on-one matchups.
Zach Arnett's their defensive coordinator. I think they're going to put pressure. I mean, particularly if KJ's not out there. Now, I mean, I don't know what percentage to put on this. I mean, I'm hopeful that he's going to play, but that's maybe just me trying to find the rainbow in what seems to be a darker conversation with clouds hanging over it about KJ, because I just don't think you can win the game. I don't even think you can be competitive without KJ Jefferson. That's just how I feel about it. I think it's a doomsday scenario for Arkansas. But, you know, I think what you will see is a complete shift in the offense if Fortin has to be the starter, because it will become a much more pass-heavy offense versus what we've seen with KJ Jefferson.
It'll be kind of the opposite of Bama this past weekend. So Bryce Young goes out, they're pass-heavy, and Milroe, they insert Jalen Milroe, who only threw the ball 8 or 9 times in that game, and they just ran it with him and Gibbs and McClellan and the rest of those guys. Not to say that Arkansas wouldn't run the football if Fortin plays on Saturday, but I would guess that you're going to see more passes. We talked about KJ being in that 20-30 range. I don't know if Fortin would get to that 30-40 range, but I would expect him to probably eclipse what KJ's passes per game average has been, which I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Oh, probably just around 20, somewhere around there. Upper teens has probably been his average. I hadn't printed the season stats, but I bet his average through these 5 games is probably, I bet he's somewhere around 100, maybe a few more attempts than that for the year, would be my guess without looking. But, I would. You're exactly right. I would expect Fortin to probably pass it closer to 30. And then what do you do at that point? Who becomes, if we agree KJ's the best player on the field, probably whoever you have at running back as far as skill positions might become your next best player at that point. So you lean more on Rocket Sanders. You lean more on DeBinion, which seems to be becoming the number 2 back. Then you got A.J. Green, and we'll see where DJ. But you have 4 pretty good backs there. I think what you have to do at that point is figure out how to make the ground game work with those guys. What are your other options?
Yeah, I wonder how DeBinion is going to respond after that fumble that he had. Coach got asked by Drew after the game, hey, who's your number 2 back? Did you figure it out? And he said he kind of just gave him an answer of no. I mean, A.J. Green scored in that game. Dominique had a good player too, but Rocket's the guy, and then it's everyone else behind him at that point. But I like what you said. You want to lean on your strength of the team, which is the running back group. 877-377-6963. Going to Mount Ida. Welcome in Dakota. Morning, Dakota.
Hey, guys. I hope y'all are having a good morning. I called a week or so ago, and I talked about Malik Hornsby, and I said, we got to quit babying the Malik, and I felt like we did last week. I felt like we didn't put him in there for just thoughts and to keep him from transferring or whatever. Here's the deal. They brought Malik in. I think they wanted to use him as backup quarterback. They want him to develop. I don't think he has. He's a great athlete. Somebody's going to have to tell him, you fit the style of a free safety, maybe a cornerback. And if he's not okay with that at this point, maybe it's time for him to try something else, because at this point, the whole Malik talk is hindering the team. And the second thing I just want to touch on is guys, as Hog fans, we have high hopes every year. and that's a good thing. You know, I think we're going to be average in the SEC, and that's okay because there's been years we can't even compete in the SEC. And just being realistic with it, I want to keep those high expectations. But just looking at what we got, our defense is kind of average, and our offense is kind of average. Without KJ Saturday, it can make for a long day. Y'all boys have a good one.
Appreciate it, Dakota.
Thanks for the call. I totally agree with your first take on Hornsby. You know, we had a passionate conversation last week about this idea that he's got to play. Well, why? I mean, you know, this coaching staff has clearly, from the outside looking in, given him every opportunity to get on the field, and he can't earn a spot. He can't earn the snaps. Football is a meritocracy. You get to play, you get to start, you earn snaps based on how you perform in practice and how effective you are in the games. And right now, out of 3 or 4 wide receivers, he can't crack the top 4, it appears. He's not the best quarterback on this team. In fact, it appears he's not even one of the best 2 at this point. So, I mean, the idea that he should play just because he's fast doesn't hold water with me. I mean, there's a lot of fast guys out here that don't play football. You know, a lot of fast guys, just because you can run fast. I mean, to me, this coaching staff has been over backwards to find a way to get him involved, and for whatever reason, it's not working out. So, seems to me, outside looking in, Ty, this coaching staff's done what they can do.
Well, here's Sam Pittman yesterday on Malik's new role.
Well, he's a quarterback. He's a quarterback as well. Certainly the plan for him to play wide receiver has not been even what I thought it would be, but the plan is for him to play quarterback.
So that was his response to the question of what his role looks like. And again, these are questions under the presumption of if KJ can't go on Saturday, what that looks like. And like you said, just because he's the fastest player on, or been described as the fastest player on the team, does not merit playing time. I just think they feel that if they have a weapon, which they consider him to be, they're trying to figure out how to use that said weapon. And to this point, it hasn't been effective like you're talking about.
No, I mean, and listen, no one would love for it to be more than Kendall Briles and Sam Pittman, but just because you've been, you know, just because you've threatened to go in the portal or what, and I think we're reading all that. I think we're reading way too much into, you know, that relationship, those deals. You know, I don't know that Sam Pittman's cutting deals on, hey, well, we're going to make sure we shoehorn you in here for 3 or 4 plays so you won't go in the portal. I think that's just an over-assumption, an overreaction by fans thinking that that's even what's going on. You know, you'd like for Hornsby to work out. The team would be better if he could be on the field and be effective. But there's just no evidence to that to this point. Maybe that will change. Right now, I'm not hopeful about it.
And I also wonder when he did enter the transfer portal how coveted he was by some other teams. If there was a lot of calls, texts, hey, we'd like you to come see the campus, we're interested in you, or if he didn't get a lot of feedback. That's something we'll never know. We're just basically having to guess on at this point. Malik's not going to come out and tell us one way or another. But I think that's something else that plays into this whole equation we're talking about when he did hit the portal.
Yeah, so, I mean, we'll you know, I think this is just a conversation, and maybe the fans lose their infatuation with this as you see Fortin play more. You know, honestly, does anyone want to see Cade Fortin on Saturday? Not in anything other than mop-up duty. I mean, you hope KJ's ready to go. I mean, that's what we're all hoping for. And maybe on Wednesday when Coach visits with the media again, he'll give us a little more of a clue and maybe give us some real information, but I kind of doubt we'll know anything till for sure, concrete, till Saturday morning.
Got a text in here from Andrew in Mansville. It said, if KJ can't go, great running back, skill position receivers, maybe it'll take away from the RPO focus, and we'll see what our wide receivers can do in the passing game a little more. I still think there'll be a heavy focus on running the football this weekend, Andrew, if Cade Fortin is your guy. But it'll be less of him running, I think, and then it'll be more, if it's an RPO, then he'll look to pass out of that action more than KJ would, where there's been times that he's just kind of taken off and run.
Wouldn't it be interesting to be able to watch practice yesterday and today, figure out what's going on there and who's taking the snaps? Is it number one out there, and this is all a little bit of a, you know, some coy gamesmanship going on, or is Fortin taking all the snaps and they're preparing to run this offense without KJ Jefferson? Wouldn't that be interesting to be in practice and know what's going on there?
Ty from Fayetteville's opinion is that Cade Fortin is trash. Well, Ty, you haven't watched him play.
How do you
man.
know that?
What did he play, like 10, 15 plays in the Alabama game? And I thought he had some cojones. First chance he takes is a one-on-one matchup with Matt Landers and Kool-Aid McKinstry in the back of the end zone. It was his first play of the game. He comes in, he doesn't shy away, and I don't know if that was specifically at Kendall Briles. That was his first read, but he was pretty gung-ho that initial play that he got in there. Now, it could be different. That was a mop-up duty, essentially. You're no chance you're going to win that football game. Maybe the bright lights are too much for him on Saturday, but I don't know, Ty, how you can have that opinion after seeing a handful of plays. He's saying, look at his stats as a backup at South Florida. You know, that if you look at stats from other places, I guess you can make a assumption about a guy, but some guys don't work out at one place and they work out at another. Now, he's moving up in classifications, going from there to Arkansas, but Kendall Briles has been pretty openly confident in what he has, and Sam Pittman seems to be as well. But he does have a tough task ahead of him, assuming he plays on Saturday.
I don't know how you could have much of an opinion either way. You think he's terrible? Tell me why. You think he's great? Tell me why. I don't. How do you have any opinion on Cade Fortin other than the little bit you got preseason from the coaches? You know, maybe if you glean a little bit out of practice and the little bit we've gotten to see, but I don't know how, as far as him being able to lead a team to a win in SEC play on the road, much less at Starkville, how you could know whether or not he can or can't yet. I haven't seen enough. I don't know enough. I don't know how anyone outside of that football program would know enough to have an opinion based in fact at this point.
He's talking about that Jamie texted in and said, I'm going to back whoever Arkansas plays at quarterback. If Cade does play this week, he probably doesn't. It's probably not good for his mental stability seeing stuff on social media or fans saying, well, this guy's trash, look at his backups. I mean, you want to give this guy some confidence heading into a hostile road environment on Saturday. I have no idea if he's good or not. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's great. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's trash. I'm just going to sit here and tell you I haven't seen much of him play, and it's a good opportunity for him to prove to some doubters wrong on Saturday.
Well, he's like most of them up there, and I don't think they're going to measure their self-worth or their ability to play based on what social media is telling. If any of us do, we're all in trouble. But, the guy has never done it at this level based on his career. Does that mean he can't? No. I mean, we just need to find out. The handful of plays, like I said, is 4 of 10 passing. I don't know how many more run plays there was, but you're probably right. It was 15 or so total plays he was in, maybe a few more. You know, that's not at a point in the game where the game's in the balance or Alabama's, running blitz at him, and you're seeing they're all Americans, come after you. Toa Toa's not trying to tear your head off, or Anderson or Turner or any of those guys that were problematic for KJ. So we don't really know at this point what Cade Fortin can do, and nothing with Cade, but I hope we don't find out on Saturday because I hope KJ's out there.
Tyler in El Dorado said, I wonder who Ty from Fayetteville is. I bet he sucks too. Yeah, what if someone said you suck at your job and they didn't know anything about it?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Wyatt,
all entitled to our opinion, no matter how wrong it is.
Wyatt from Pea Ridge is wondering why we should believe in Cade Fortin as a backup quarterback from South Florida. What happened to her quarterback depth? Wyatt, What
happened to the backup quarterback being the most popular guy? What happened to that? So,
Wyatt, I would just tell you that I'm not saying you should believe in one way or another. I just wouldn't instantly come out and say the guy's terrible. That's what I'm saying this morning.
How do you have an opinion, Ty? I'm not saying you. I'm just saying the plural.
Proverbial.
We're getting all these texts with opinions about Cade Fortin. Based on what? I mean, good or bad? Based on what? I mean, I hope the kid, if he's forced to play, goes lights it up. I mean, that's what we all want. But how do we know anything at this point?
I think just because he doesn't come in with the accolades that you see some backup quarterbacks. Case in point, Jalen Milroe, who's a 4-star kid out of Katy, Texas, who had offers all over the place. They look at recruiting rankings and stuff like that. That's what fans a lot of times will see. They look at a small little snippet of stats and then the recruiting rankings.
Has Cade Fortin probably ever huddled up a collection of linemen, wide receivers, and running backs as good as what he has at Arkansas anywhere in his playing career?
No. South Florida, North Carolina?
No.
Same basketball.
I mean, do you think he's going to be a better quarterback with 10 better players around him? Of course. So
that would be the hope.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're not, then you're just not the guy.
Let's hear what Robert thinks. Go ahead, Robert.
Hey, guys, real quick, Hornsby, I hope he stays, and but we don't know what he was told because there's two sides of that conversation on what he's saying. We don't know. And the other thing, with your cowbell, someone's got to give it to you for it to mean something because that's kind of their tradition down there. They get their cowbells given to them by a person that,
they're kind of handed down, like inherited, aren't they? Or something along that line.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, have a good one.
Thanks, Robert. So don't buy one is what you're saying. Hopefully I'll befriend a Mississippi State fan. We do have a place we're going to tailgate after our Arkansas game day show on Saturday, and I'm excited just to cross off another SEC list and see. Well, everyone always gives hype about the Grove and stuff. Vaught Hemingway is not loud at all. Davis Wade, according to Mike Irwin, just dominates the two Mississippi
Yeah, they got them illegal noisemakers in there,
I don't know how those haven't been disbanded from
the league's kind of bent the rule for them. And I mean, listen, you wouldn't want someone to write a rule that banned calling the Hogs. I mean, that's kind of their calling the Hogs. So as long as they play by the quote rules, I guess you don't want to ban traditions. But that's an older stadium. They've done a lot of work on. I was reading in the that place opened in 1914, and but it was always kind of considered one of the worst stadiums in the conference, but they've done a lot to improve it over the last 10 or so years, it looks like.
Jacob texted in, he says, what if Cade Forden comes in like Tyler Wilson against Auburn in 2010 and lights him up? We need to cheer him on. I will say there was probably not a huge collection outside of Greenwood, Arkansas, that thought Tyler Wilson was going to amount to anything that game. Now, you might have thought about the future and what he could be, but if I had to guess, when Ryan got that concussion after Nick Fairley pelted him to the ground and old Tyler Wilson trots up there at quarterback, none of you had any confidence that Arkansas was going to be able to stay in that game. And Tyler ripped that secondary apart. Now, is Cade going to be able to do that on Saturday? I have no idea if he plays. But just because a guy doesn't have a lot of playing experience or just because it's a tough situation doesn't mean an Arkansas quarterback can't come in there and sling it a little bit.
Well, I'm not saying he's going to be Tyler Wilson. I don't think you are either. But, Tyler was an all-SEC quarterback at Arkansas. I believe the last one that was an all-SEC quarterback. So it'd be nice if he could play anywhere close to that level. But, again, I go back to let's hope he doesn't have to play because KJ Jefferson is going to be okay. Hey, if you're remodeling a home or building a home, it's a stressful time whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Kevin Hickey and Brad Hall, the Kevin Hickey Law Partners, can guide you through if you're having issues with non-payment, contractors not showing up, breach of contract, whatever the issue might be that could lead you to a lawsuit or your day in court. Call Kevin or Brad today, 479-434-2414 in the River Valley, 802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Find those numbers and more online, KevinHickeyLaw.com.
We're talking about Ketron Jackson coming up. Guys making plays. What Sam Pittman said about him next.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
No matter which road you take, the Toyota Tundra is the perfect way to navigate it. On your path, you're your own boss and set your own hours.
Look at that sunrise.
You may find yourself in some pretty remote places.
Whoa, that view. It's amazing.
Or in places where pastimes become stories that become legends.
I got one. It's a keeper. Hey, get a picture. No one's going to believe this.
And each day ends binge-watching stars and dreaming about all the things you'll do the next day.
You know what? I'm catching a bigger fish tomorrow.
Built to follow your path, the Toyota Tundra. Build yours today. Visit your local Toyota dealer or Toyota.com for your ready-for-anything Toyota Tundra. The aggressively styled rugged Tundra is ready to be loaded up, and you can head off to wherever your path leads. Toyota. Let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability.
The new Lotto game from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is creating new traditions for our players, like Colton and Katie from Hot Springs.
We play our anniversary. Yep, 12/15, always.
And then I rub the ticket on his bald head for luck.
Yeah, she does.
Your numbers, your game. Play Lotto every Wednesday and Saturday for your chance to match 6 and get rich. Only $2 per play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Hey, it works.
Summer is here. Art's Barbecue and Burgers has everything you need for your next picnic, trip to the lake, and outdoor fun this summer. Smoked ham and turkey are perfect for sandwiches at your picnic. Take Art's brisket, ribs, and pulled pork to your next lake trip. And every Saturday at Art's, every thick and juicy burger is $1 off. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, the best barbecue and burgers in town. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith, or call ahead at 452-2550 at Art's Barbecue and Burgers.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Metal Direct offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shops, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Direct assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by their location at 7420 Inmar Drive in Little Rock, 1 block off University behind Napa Auto Parts, or call them at 501-562-3112. Metal Direct, the right material for the right price.
Why do people do business with First Western? Because First Western builds relationships with all of their customers. They partner for the long haul to help you with your financial goals over all seasons of life. First Western is prompt, responsive, and they deliver with quick answers and on-time loan closings. When is the last time your banker called you? If you are looking for a high level of service and a financial partner who will listen and respond, try First Western. For more information, visit them online at firstwestern.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
What matters most to your family can now cost less when you choose comfortable, reliable, and efficient natural gas heating, water heating, cooking, and clothes drying for your home. You make the right choice in today's environment. High-efficiency natural gas appliances can reduce your monthly costs. And right now, you can save even more with heating and water heating rebates from AOG. Visit AOGC.com today and get more comfort for less cost.
The Kawasaki Good Times Demo Tour is back on the road and making a stop at Wheeler Power Sports on October 7th. Halftime will be live on location from 11 to 2. Experience your favorite Kawasaki motorcycles firsthand and join in on the good times with demos, giveaways, and more. Wheeler Power Sports is stoked to bring the Kawasaki Good Times Demo Tour on October 7th and October 8th. Bike availability subject to change. Motorcycle license required for test drivers. See WheelerPowersports.com for more details.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Our weather for today, with high pressure in place, will be in the low to mid 80s, and we should get plenty of sunshine. For the overnight hours, our low near 50 and clear, and then we're in the mid 80s with a sunny day coming up on Wednesday. The fair weather pattern holds Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Tally at the 40, midfield, at the UCF 40, the 30, Tally at the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown Arkansas!
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
He has some mild symptoms. Those are things that our doctors look at. Each kid's a little bit different of how they react, and we've had guys back within 3 or 4 days. We've had guys out for 27 days. He's kind of a wait and see, to be honest with you.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
40-year-old adolescents, felons, power drinkers, and trustees of modern chemistry.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Were you going to have a party here tonight, son? I don't know what that was all about.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
That seducer and spoiler must be stopped. He's extremely dangerous.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
How about Keatron Jackson in the last 2 games? He scored a touchdown against A&M and Alabama, probably the 2 best defenses that you played all season. Warren Thompson did not play in the last game, and the kid from Roy City, Texas, has been making plays. Coach Pittman was very, very vocal about what he's been doing. We'll tell you what he said coming up in just a sec.
It is Toyota Tuesday here on the Morning Rush. We got our SEC rankings coming up. We'll visit with Bruce Stanton. We're brought to you by BetUS. They're back for their 28th year. If you're looking for a convenient, safe, and secure way to get action on the game and you want to know you get paid when you win, that's BetUS. Call 1-800-79-BET-US. They'll walk you through setting up your account. Nobody in the industry gives you a better bonus when you open your account, create your account, than BetUS.com. You can join today, mention ESPN Arkansas, and they'll give you up to 200% in sign-up bonuses on your first deposit. That's ESPN Arkansas, up to 200% in bonuses. Nobody in the industry is going to top that. Nobody beats BetUS.com. Join today. That's BetUS.com, 800-79-BET-US. BetUS, where the game begins.
There's a little bit of that because he was starting in fall camp, and I think Matt beat him out, and, there's a big lesson learned there. He didn't go on the tank or anything like that, and now he's playing even better ball than what I thought he would at this point in time, and I think he's got a lot of upside.
That was a great play design from Kendall Briles in the Texas A&M game. It's kind of a, I'm forgetting, you're going to have to, is it a flare screen where the guy comes in from the outside and get the offensive lineman come in and block?
Tunnel screen?
Tunnel screen's the word I'm thinking of. But it was a great play design by Kendall Briles, and Keatron almost walked into the end zone at the very end. This is a capable guy. We saw him have the long pass play against Missouri State where he extended the ball, almost fumbled, but luckily that he was down at that point. He's a guy that can make some plays. We saw it even as a true freshman last year and as a true sophomore. I think that he's going to continue to get touches and continue to get looks. Hopefully he can have a big game on Saturday, regardless if it's KJ or Cade throwing the ball to him.
They got to get the receivers more involved. Landers had some drops in the game. That's one thing that's kind of hindered him a little bit, and hopefully these wide receivers, like you say, get more involved in your offense shifts. The wide receivers, I think, have been limited on their involvement because of the strength of your running game, obviously. But, listen, we can talk about quarterbacks, and we can talk about, what you do with the offense, if you have to make some adjustments. All of that, does it really matter to the detail? It should, unless you fix some things on the defensive side of the ball. 555 yards given up against Bama, and Bama can make a lot of people look foolish at times. But we were talking during the break, you just add up those 3 runs that define the game really in a lot of ways. When Milroe ran it down on the 3rd down to the 2-yard line or whatever, then Gibbs had a 72 and a 76. That was 225 yards of their 555 total. That was 40% of the offense, 41% of the offense in 3 plays. You look at the runs, and just look at their ground game, 317 yards. 225 of it came on 3 plays. Got to figure out how to shore those up. You talk about missed tackles, and that's been a problem at times. How you go back and look at those plays? It wasn't so much missed tackles. They just didn't get a hand on them. It was just this cutback, and those weren't trick plays. They were just finding seams. You got to get a lot of things fixed on the defensive side. I know it's easy to focus on a quarterback issue. Until you get some of this defensive stuff fixed up, shored up, it's not going to really matter.
Let's just call a spade a spade. The defense has been a disappointment to this season outside of one stat, and that's sacks. They have not lived up to what I think the expectations of Barry Odom were, Sam Pittman were, and others have been to this point. And it hurts, and it's really hard to grapple that with losing your All-American in the back end and Jalen Catalon. And I get that how big of a deal that is when it comes to setting up the defense, him and run support, and everything that he does for your football team. But they haven't figured it out what their weakness. They haven't figured out their weaknesses to fix them, which is the missed tackles and covering. And Coach Pittman keeps addressing it every press conference and every week, but they have yet to fix it to this point. And if you're Barry Odom, I don't know the answer to what his question.
Collectively, our perception of the defense going into the year could not have been more wrong. Because what were we saying in August? Well, the strength of the defense is the secondary, and the question mark is what? The front line. That how much pressure are you going to be able to get on them? Thought the linebackers were solid. Well, I mean, flip that script. I mean, the defensive line's been the strength of the defense, and the Achilles heel has been the secondary. So, I mean, what we thought going in, and some of that is based on Catalon. Some of that is based on injuries with Slusher and others.
He's got a calf issue right now.
But nonetheless, I mean, it is what it is, and the problem has been the secondary has been the weakest part of the three levels of the defense, which is exactly the opposite of what we thought would happen this year.
I think it's a little disheartening that Texas held Alabama to under 20 points and you gave up the amount of points you did to the Crimson Tide, especially those gash plays that you mentioned where they just ripped you apart in the fourth quarter because you had all the momentum at that point. You're thinking, man, this could end up being a one-score game, and then all of a sudden Bama does what Bama does, not just to you but other teams, and takes your heart and rips it out of your chest and smashes it into a million pieces. That's just what Nick Saban's teams do. They some points they get close and they don't. Arkansas has to figure out a way to just stop making the same mental mistakes that they can't making with the tackles. And I don't know, again, to my original point, I don't know the answer that is facing question that's Barry Odom's got right now.
I mean, you go back and look at some of these plays in the Bama game, and listen, Alabama's athletes and their team can make a lot of teams look foolish for that particular week, and then magically all the problems, seem to improve the next week. Well, there's some improvement there, but a lot of times it's just the level of competition. I mean, no disrespect to Mississippi State, but they're not Alabama, and but there were some plays in this game, and you just would watch them. It wasn't missed tackles. There was just not even a finger put on some guys. I mean, Alabama did such a good job of they'd shift the line, they get their blocks going one way, and the back would follow, and then he would just find a cutback lane, and boom. Mm-hmm. I mean, over and over and over, it seemed to find that wasn't just a crease; it was a hole there that led to a lot of first downs, and on those three big plays, that's exactly what happened. They were cutback lanes that they ran right through, and nobody was there in the second or third level to really make a play. And you're trying to chase him down on an angle. You got to Milroe on that one and got him out before he scored, but the inevitable happened, and Gibbs. That guy's still running out of the south end zone.
Drew and Fayetteville texted in asking about Greg Brooks. Greg Brooks had one of the key interceptions for the LSU Tigers this week, and Joe Fouché played in his first game for Brian Kelly. He had academic suspension the first 4 games. You miss those two guys. That's just the truth. And Greg's had a pretty good season for the Tigers at this point this year. We'll see what Joe does the rest of the way. But when they initially transferred out, I wondered, and you knew he's been good. He's had 3 interceptions this year, but I wondered how much of an impact that was going to have. It's a pretty big impact at this point.
Did I see you make a note that it's National Taco Day?
It is National Taco Day.
So it's Taco Tuesday. I mean, National Taco Day has to be on Taco Tuesday. That's why you need to get to Joe's Grill and Cantina. It is National Taco Day. $1 crispy beef or chicken tacos all day today. So lunch or dinner, anytime in between. Joe's is there for you.
Crispy or soft?
I can go either way. Probably crunchy tacos. Crispy are my preference. Crispy beef. But when I'm at Joe's, that chicken, don't sleep on it. Their chicken tacos are really, really good. So get by there, get some sides to go that. Saturday for the game, they'll be open. Half-price apps and taps during the game at Joe's this Saturday as well, plus dollar tacos on Saturday. Joe's Grill and Cantina, South 74th Street across from Harps and Fort Smith.
The third best team in the Southeastern Conference is who? We'll answer that next.
ESPN Arkansas's coverage behind enemy lines in Starkville.
Video is powered by the pros at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Think about it.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lam Lee has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at TulsaWoundCenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Searching for the best UTV on the market but can't find it with any of the big name brands? That's where the Intimidator comes in. An American brand using American-made steel and built in Arkansas. Intimidator UTVs offer premium components as standard, unlike those other companies. Items such as doors, skid plates, heavy-duty frames, and comfortable seating, all at one comparable price. See why Intimidator UTVs are the best choice by visiting your local dealer, Horns Outdoor in Hot Springs, or visit hornsoutdoor.net.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call cleans it all.
No House Advantage is changing the game by offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. Play in pick'em contests versus other people for a shot at winning $150,000 plus in cash. Download the app, choose a contest, select your player props, earn points for the correct picks, and climb the leaderboard for your shot to win big money every day. You can also test your skills versus the house and 20 times your entry if you hit all your picks. Bet on up to 5 player props, over-unders, or individual player matchups across every major sports league, including the NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, MMA, and NASCAR. Sign up now with your promo code HTL. That's promo code HTL at nohouseadvantage.com, or download the app on the app stores to get a first deposit match of up to $25. Make sure to check out No House Advantage today and experience daily fantasy sports redefined, because it's not just how you play, but where you play. You won't want to miss out on this. nohouseadvantage.com, promo code HTL.
I'd like to ask for a recess.
I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
All right, so we're going to talk about Tommy's SEC power rankings coming up in just a bit. Before we get to that, who is the third best team in the Southeastern Conference, including the West and the East? 877-377-6963. I'm going to go first. And I felt this way all offseason when it came to the Tennessee Volunteers. Josh Heupel is doing some good things down there. Now, they have some big games coming up. They go to Baton Rouge this weekend. They'll play they'll play Alabama the following week. So they have a tough slate of games. They still have to go to Georgia as well, but they do get Alabama at home. We're going to find out a lot about Hendon Hooker in Death Valley, which, to his luck, if you will, it's an early game. They don't have to play at 9. I know he's probably happy about that, not having to go to Death Valley at 9. But I think Tennessee is the third best team in the Southeastern Conference. All offseason was going back between Tennessee and Arkansas. The Volunteers have shown me a lot to this point.
I think that was a harder question. I don't want to give away too much about what we're getting ready to get into with our rankings, but that was a harder question to answer till Kentucky lost to Ole Miss. So I think Tennessee has established themselves clearly. They're not on the same level as Georgia and Bama until they prove otherwise, and they got a chance coming up with Bama, and they got a chance with Georgia, obviously, too. But I think they clearly are third, and it's not really debatable. The question really becomes later on. 4 through about 7 or so, I think, are pretty jumbled up right now. And you can make a case for a considerably different order with that group of teams like Ole Miss and State, Kentucky, and LSU that I think are kind of right now in that this week in a snapshot in that next tier. So, yeah, I agree. Tennessee's number 3. I think maybe the more debatable question is, who's the fourth best team in this league? And we'll talk about that coming up.
William in Jonesboro texted in saying that Ole Miss may have an argument for that. Ole Miss got a good win against Kentucky, but they still, outside of that Kentucky game, William, they haven't played anyone, and they're not playing anyone this week when they go to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt. Then they'll take on Auburn and Oxford. I mean, LSU in Baton Rouge, the 22nd, that's Arkansas's bye week. Maybe you'll find more out about them there. But I just can't see a lot of tough road ahead when you take on Vanderbilt, Nashville, and Auburn and Oxford. Ole Miss's schedule sets up how it should. Now, Jackson Dart has looked pretty good so far this season. Another quarterback that Arkansas is going to have to deal with at some point in time.
All right, that's your Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Let's welcome in Bruce Stan of Pradco Fishing to the program. He's got some thoughts on Tommy's SEC power rankings as I do. Neither of us have seen him to this point.
Oh, you're all chomping at the bit, aren't you, Bruce?
We are.
Let's go, man.
All right, we were debating there as you were coming into the show who is the number 3 team in the league. I'm going to tell you guys, this was the hardest one. I had about 4 drafts of this last night. I got started a little bit late and kind of putting it together, but it's kind of like a guy trying to find the right lead for his column. Bruce, I wadded about 4 different versions up and started over. Georgia and Bama are easy 1 and 2. Now, I don't think it's easy which one's 1, which one's 2, but no one else can really enter that debate. Unlike the polls, I have left Georgia at number 1 this week because, yes, they've had 2 sluggish wins, but they were wins. And they have only allowed 54 points, which is a conference low by their opponents total this year. So I think Georgia's played down to their opponents the last couple of weeks, but I think Georgia's still a really good football team.
They played way down Saturday.
They did. They nearly lost. I mean, they when I looked up after the game, it was 13-0 Missouri. I thought, what in the world is going on? Is that some kind of error? I mean, someone post that score backwards? But I'm going to leave Georgia at 1. I think it's really close. You can make Bama 1, and I wouldn't argue, but I just think right now when they haven't lost, and I know the polls went another way. Alabama, I don't know how much of a question there is with Bryce Young and his shoulder. I think it's probably similar to what we're talking about with KJ. A lot of people probably very hopeful he's going to play. They could easily be number 1. They've allowed 55 points. So Georgia had 54, Bama at 55 with their opponents. Now think about that. Arkansas scored 26. So half of the points that Bama's allowed has been by the Razorbacks this last week. So that tells you they didn't give up much to that. So Georgia 1, Bama 2. We were just talking about who's the third team, Bruce. Tennessee is easily, to me, number 3 in this league right now until proven otherwise. Easily the best of the rest in the SEC. They get LSU this week. So Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, 1, 2, 3. Any issues with that?
Well, I mean, just on the eye test, I'd probably flip Alabama. I think they played a lot better opponent at Arkansas. Georgia just really looked sluggish. I've always just Bennett just always, I know he plays well in big games, quarterback for Georgia, but sometimes he just struggles. He struggled against Missouri, and I think Drinkwitz is coaching for his job, obviously, so they're desperate. But they really played well, but, you know, that team that went over and just annihilated South Carolina, I kept wondering, is this a different team? Did they leave some people in Athens? It just didn't look good. But Alabama, I think the eye test is you take out the Heisman Trophy winner, and it was just business as usual. They ran the ball effectively. They gashed Arkansas. It really didn't matter who the quarterback was. And to me, that's just a sign of an excellent football team. Tennessee's going to get to prove it. They got at LSU. Mm-hmm. They got Alabama the next week, and then they got a cream puff, and they got Kentucky and Georgia. We'll see where they stand in the next 5 weeks.
Yeah, so, I mean, Georgia at 1 or Bama at 1, I could go either way. I just left it the way it was because, you know, until proven otherwise, Georgia is undefeated, and we'll see. But they're almost 1 and 1A in my book. All right, fourth.
What do you think?
Between Georgia and Bama, I think I tend to agree with you. Bama got the bigger win. Georgia hasn't. These lads have been 3 straight weeks they've looked bad.
2.
2. I would probably just say Alabama, just because you lose your Heisman Trophy winner, the guy that is the best quarterback in college football, and you still pummel Arkansas in the fourth quarter. That says a lot about your overall team. I would probably insert Alabama above Georgia, but it's not a wide margin by any stretch.
By any stretch. So I mean, and honestly, leaving Georgia at 1, just, you know, for me, doing this exercise creates a little more conversation with it. So Tennessee at 3. Now 4, 5, 6, 7. This is where I struggle. This is why the paper kept getting crumpled up. 1, 2, 3 were easy for me last night. You got Ole Miss, you got Mississippi State, you got Kentucky and LSU in that group for me. Kind of where we're at after week 4, heading into week 5 here. So I got Ole Miss at 4. Feels a little bit hypocritical for me because their schedule hasn't been very good, but they had the best win beating Kentucky. Now, you could also make the case Kentucky gave some of that game away with the turnovers, but you know we will see. I got Ole Miss at 4. I got State at 5 because I thought they had the next most impressive win in the way they handled A&M. Can they do it 2 weeks in a row? We're going to find out with Mississippi State. They're 4-1. They got a chance to go to 5-1 for the first time since '98 or what. They hadn't been 5-0 since '98. They haven't been 4-1 since 2015, I think it is. I read. So this is not something that State's used to in this kind of start that they've had. I dropped Kentucky to 6 after getting beat by Ole Miss, and I got LSU up to 7. I think we're all kind of sleeping a little bit on LSU right now. They still haven't beat a ranked team, though. That's why I put them at the back end of that group of 4 teams. They haven't beat a ranked team. They play Tennessee, obviously, and you know if LSU wins that game, we're going to think a lot differently of them. So, Bruce, you got any problem with 4, 5, 6, 7, Ole Miss, State, Kentucky, LSU in that order?
No, I mean, based on what happened Saturday, that's probably how I'd rank it. But I think Kentucky feels a lot like Arkansas did 2 weeks ago. Just a bad taste in their mouth. They think, how did we lose that game? Three turnovers on the last 3 possessions. I know they feel terrible because they probably should have beaten Ole Miss. I don't think Ole Miss was better than them, but you know, Ole Miss won another game. They've beaten some mediocre opponents in close games, and now they've beaten a really good opponent in a close game. So they're 5-0, and I guess you got to give it to them. Mississippi State, yeah, they beat Texas A&M. They needed to beat them, but I don't think we have a high impression like Tommy at the beginning of the year. Ty had Texas A&M as the third best team in the SEC at the beginning of the year. We're not forgetting that, and I don't think they're anywhere near that.
I'm glad I was
how
wrong.
They played lately.
I'm glad I was
You were wrong.
I'm dead wrong.
You were wrong.
The second.
And LSU, I know they're putting some games together, some wins together, but Auburn's terrible. I mean, Auburn gave that game to them. Their quarterback dropped the ball, and defensive end picked it up and ran it in. It was a terrible football game, kind of like the Missouri game the week before. I guess I don't have a life because I'm watching these terrible SEC football games. But no, I'm not going to argue with you, Tommy, how you got them ranked.
All right, so just recapping here. Georgia 1, Bama 2, Tennessee 3, Ole Miss 4, Mississippi State, Arkansas's opponent this week, we have at 5, Kentucky 6, LSU 7. Then this next group of teams, kind of all even in my mind, but I put A&M ahead of Arkansas. They did win head-to-head. They're going to be 3-3 and dropping like a rock after they get pummeled by Bama. So I got A&M at 8, Arkansas at 9. I mean, Arkansas's trending down these last couple of weeks. Defense is a problem. Got questions at quarterback right now. Hopefully that's not as big a deal, but a chance to move up a couple of slots if they can go on the road and win at Starkville. So I got Arkansas at 9 and then Florida at 10. So A&M, Arkansas, Florida 8, 9, and 10.
Ooh. Boy, that hurts saying that, doesn't it? Down to 9.
Well, if this is going to be a fair and objective process here, that's where they're at right now. After the last 2 weeks, they started counterpunching in the third quarter, late third quarter and early fourth against Bama, but it was a little too late. And tell me right now how they're better than the 8 teams ahead of them. They lost A&M. They lost to Bama. Do you think they could beat Georgia or Tennessee? We're going to find out in Mississippi State. That's how I look at it. Could they beat this team that's ahead of them? Right now, I'd say the teams ahead of them would probably beat Arkansas today.
It is what it is, but you lost to a team you should have beat. You felt like you should have beat them. The number one team in the country came in here, and it was a 5-point game in the fourth quarter. But, you can't argue. Where they are in the standings, it's hard to argue with that.
Until the records are much different. A&M's just slightly ahead of the rest. I think they're even. I think Arkansas may be better, but that's kind of where it's at right now. Then the bottom 4. Little bit of a mix-up here. South Carolina is still 11. I moved Missouri up in the loss after Georgia to 12. Vanderbilt at 13, and Auburn is the worst team in the league, in my opinion. Even though they're 3-2, I got that to be the bottom 4. Carolina, Missouri, Vanderbilt, Auburn, the last 4 in the league.
Yeah, I agree with that. Missouri, again, all these games, teams feel like they should have won. Mavis misses a 26-yard field goal at the buzzer, and then they fumbled one through the end zone in overtime that would have won it. So they really beat Auburn. They didn't on the scoreboard. So I have no problem with Auburn being ranked last. I think everybody's checking when we play in Auburn because the way they're playing right now, that's probably a closer thing to a win than playing Vanderbilt right now.
October 29th. That's Halloween weekend, and you hadn't won there since 2012, Bruce. You'd love to beat him this year. Yeah, those back 4, Tommy, don't have a huge issue. I tend to agree with Bruce. Missouri won that football game. They couldn't execute. I know Drinkwitz would love to have that game back. Auburn's terrible. Vanderbilt's not any good either. I know they had some decent wins to start out their season. But, those back 4 don't really have an issue. And I kind of to Bruce's point earlier, 9th is unfortunately where Arkansas probably deserves to be right now. They're turning in the wrong direction. Hopefully they can get back up after this weekend against Mississippi State.
So you got Georgia, Auburn in the early CBS game, and then you got A&M and Alabama, the game everybody circled that I don't think is being good. I think the best game, or perhaps one of the best games of the weekend, Bruce, will be Tennessee LSU, and a game that probably should have gotten a better slot than what they're ended up with, but it's where it's at. What do you think will happen down to the Bayou this week?
Well, just based on, again, watching LSU's first game they lost, and then didn't execute the extra point, and then watching that terrible game at Auburn, I feel good that Tennessee can score, and I don't think LSU is scaring anyone offensively. Obviously Tennessee should go down there and beat them. But college football players, hopefully on the bye week, they're not thinking about Alabama, and they're skipping a step and going down to Death Valley. So that's the only thing that's kind of in the back of my mind. You got a huge game that all the alumni, everybody in Tennessee is thinking about, like Arkansas had been about Alabama. You can't forget to play that game before, kind of like Arkansas did, and you got to execute. You can't turn the ball over, and you just got to go down and take care of business, and then you'll have a 2:30 game on CBS with two undefeated teams, probably both ranked in the top 5, but you got to take care of business before you get there.
How big a break is it for Tennessee for that game to be at 11, guys?
Huge.
Huge. It's huge.
I don't. This might be a little bit of a reach, but Bruce, I would, if I was you, I would not feel good if that game was at 6:00 at night. But since it's at 11, I mean, weird things happen in that stadium when you play a night game in Death Valley, where dreams go to die, as Les Miles used to say. That is of any college football venue, and I love Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium, that has the most negative impact of any visiting team in the country. I don't think it's even a debate.
Well, I think that everybody's been making a big deal about the oldest rivalry in the South, Georgia and Auburn. There's obviously some Tennessee people making these network decisions because they didn't want the Vols playing at night down at LSU. CBS has 2 games, and the first 3 games of the day are going to be awesome. You got Tennessee, LSU, Arkansas, Mississippi State. And I think that Missouri-Florida game is going to be a great game. But the last 4, I don't even know if they're going to be worth watching. But the SEC, just based on watchability, the better games are really LSU, Tennessee, and Mississippi State, Arkansas.
You're right. Tennessee and LSU are right after College Game Day on ESPN. We know the Razorbacks play State on the SEC Network, and that Missouri at Florida game will be on ESPNU. Those all kick off at 11 a.m. Central Time. So you're right, that early wave is good, and I think we're all starting to realize there are good games that start early. I think Auburn, Georgia, I mean, we forget, we're removed so far from it that we forget how big a rivalry that is. We think about Georgia, Florida. We think about when Georgia and Bama get to play, about the consequences of that game when they played in the regular season. This is an old rivalry, and maybe Georgia's played a little dull the last 2 weeks, knowing that, hey, this is a game that matters to the fan base at Georgia and matters to this team. And they're going to be up this week.
That's a good statement. I don't really think so. I don't think there's a lot of respect for Auburn right now in Georgia's locker room or anyone else's locker room. I think Georgia's thinking about Alabama in the SEC championship game. And
so why have they been sluggish the last 2 weeks? Why against Kent State and Missouri?
You can't get up for everybody. Yeah. You can't get up for everybody. Hey, let's just call it what it is. Drinkwitz is coaching for his job, and if your locker room believes in you, you're going to rally them, and you're going to get your best effort. It's a road game. It's a long road game from Athens to Columbia, Missouri. So, you're always going to have those one-offs in the SEC. I mean, look at Alabama and Texas. I mean, does either team resemble that game right now? You don't want to be a victim of the one-off, kind of like Arkansas and Texas A&M, when you're trying to accomplish bigger and better things, because it'll trip you up and mess up your season.
It's probably the most low-energy venue in the conference, and that includes Vanderbilt, because at least at Vanderbilt, the visiting fans go. At least there's some energy in there because the fans from the other team will show up because it's Nashville. No one makes a plan to go to Columbia, Missouri. It's hard to get to. You can't really fly in there direct. You got to go to Kansas City or St. Louis and drive over. I mean, it's probably the sleepiest atmosphere in the conference.
It has to be, and Tennessee fans are already planning a checkerboard for the Vanderbilt game. I mean, who plans to take over the opposing team stadium with a checkerboard? That's how apathetic Vanderbilt fans are. But at least there's an environment, like you said, because there's the opposing team there.
Yeah.
Columbia is it's tough because it's so far away. It's not a destination. Missouri fans don't care, especially right now. So it's just kind of a blah deal.
South Carolina is at Kentucky. Kentucky, we know, is coming off the loss to Ole Miss. South Carolina needs to win this game, or they drop to 0-3 in the league. What do you think happens in this game? That's set for 6:30 on the SEC Network Saturday night.
Well, night game, Kentucky. I think they're going to rebound. Stoops is going to get their heads back on straight. I just expect they'll grind up South Carolina. I don't really. I don't see a positive outcome for South Carolina in this game.
And A&M, Bama, any chance A&M without Smith and Smith, any chance, even if Bama doesn't have Bryce Young, that they could make this a ball game in Tuscaloosa?
I'm not thinking so. Ty, are you?
No, I've been on the train that this is going to be a blowout all season long, and even without Bryce Young, potentially, I think that they're going to get that. They're interesting stat about this game. So A&M is a 24.5-point underdog of 160-plus games Jimbo's coached in. Highest underdog he's ever been as a head coach.
Wow. Here's the thing. We always talk about this is the time Alabama's going to beat. Alabama's got a gauntlet. And, after what you watched in the fourth quarter Saturday, you're just kind of thinking, I don't know if anybody's going to get up there and stop them. You're already kind of giving up, thinking, I don't think anybody's going to beat them.
Well, I still feel pretty good about what Tennessee could offer them. They're not going to – I don't think Alabama would beat Tennessee if Bryce Young's not in there. I think Tennessee would be able to do enough against Jalen Milroe to win that football game. Now, Bryce Young's in there. I think it's going to be a heck of a game, him and Hooker slinging it all over the field. But that would be the team that if you're going to point to it, I think Ole Miss is kind of starting to show you that their offense, and I know they have the best outing against Kentucky, but I think Jackson Dart's starting to come into his own a little bit, and maybe they could challenge him. I don't know how I feel about LSU being able to give Nick Saban a run for their money this year, though, in year one under Brian Kelly.
Yeah, so it's fun games, and I think now everybody's kind of leapfrogging the A&M Alabama game and looking forward to Alabama Tennessee, which will have the most meaning it's had in a long time. All right, we're getting these cooler mornings. Water temperatures cooling off. Temperatures in the 40s, upper or low 50s in the mornings. Bruce, how's that affecting the fishing, and how do we plan to make our next trip out on the water?
Well, it's bringing them shallow. A lot of our lakes, both on the impoundments on the Arkansas River and our Highland reservoirs, fish are coming up shallow. On the river, it's just a little tough because they're not running much current. It's real low, not had a lot of rain, not a lot of water flowing through. You can catch a little bit of evening generation below Fort Smith, Ozark, Dardanelle, and you can get on a decent evening bite. A lot of the cuts are out of the water, so it's just tougher than it has been in years past. But, getting out in the main lake, water's real clear, make long casts, use light line, 6 and 8 pound test on a spinning rod, and use a Rebel Pop R, the Booyah Boss Pop, head Super Spook Boyo, and try to use translucent colors, which means there's a little clarity to the colors. And, you can catch some shallow bass right now.
All right. Well, it'd be fun. Get out early, get home to watch the game at 11, and have a good weekend on the water and in front of the TV this weekend. Bruce, always good to talk to you. We'll see you next Tuesday.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Bruce Stanton, Pradco Fishing, joining us here every Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Ty's headed out on the road this week to Starkville, Mississippi. Our coverage behind enemy lines presented by Mock Legal Solutions, a law firm offering reasonably priced legal services. In most cases, no hourly billing, know exactly what you will pay, and you'll never be billed for emails, text, and calls. That's Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price. Your hog update is on the way. I want to spend a few seconds here telling you about our friends at Gaston's White River Resort. I was talking to some friends of ours that went over this weekend and had just a great time on a couple's getaway. And if you've got an anniversary coming up or a birthday weekend coming up, and you've made all the trips to Branson and Tulsa and Little Rock and all the other places that you've been time and time again, do something different, do something unique, get out of your comfort zone a little bit with a weekend to Gaston's White River Resort. You can book a half-day or a full-day fishing trip. Half-days last till about lunchtime at noon. Full days last about 3 o'clock. You got the rest of the day to enjoy all of it at Gaston's, or just stay on property, have some of their great meals, and kick back and relax. It's all at Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
It's time for the Burton Pools and Spas annual hot tub warehouse sale. With over 8,000 spas sold, no one else matches the sales and service that comes with a Burton hot tub. We have hot spring hot tubs in stock and ready to deliver, and they're all on sale. You'll save up to $4,900 off MSRP with payments as low as $80 a month with approved credit. Don't miss the biggest hot tub warehouse sale of the year going on now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and Fort Smith. Visit burtonpools.com for more information.
Roger Scott for Leaf Guard of Arkansas. Going to throw out a few numbers at you. 5-0. Looking for 50 homeowners who need new gutters. If you qualify and you are one of those that need new gutters, going to throw out another number to you. Here it is. 75% off of labor on a complete Leaf Guard system. That's on new orders only. Other restrictions may apply. Now, this does not include material costs, though, but that's 75% off of labor. See a sales associate for details on that. Here's another one, 18 months. Ask about the 18 months no interest financing with a minimum purchase and approved credit. And the last number you need to know, 501-664-5400. And you're on your way to having the only true one-piece seamless covered gutter system on the market, guaranteed to never ever clog, no more muck and mud and shingle grit. 75% off labor, 18 months no interest financing, 501-664-5400, or visit leafguardandmore.com.
Tommy Kraft for the Fence Man. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. That's it for today. Bud Light, crisp.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service is all about God, family, and our country, and they proudly display the red, white, and blue. At High-Tech, they specialize in truck and trailer repair, service, and are certified in refrigeration repair. And every day, give thanks to those who have served our country and paid the ultimate sacrifice for folks like you and me. High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service, located in Van Buren at 6410 Alma Highway or at 479-474-2220.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work, real work, working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
This is Abby with Davis Floor Covering. Get your home or office looking its best for this football season with new flooring from Davis Floor Covering. Whether it's new carpet, hardwood flooring, ceramic, porcelain tile, or luxury vinyl planks, Davis Floor Covering can help you with all your flooring needs with brands such as Bow Floors and flooring supplies from Maupe. And let's get started on beautifying your office or home. We even do countertops. Be sure to check us out on Facebook. Davis Floor Covering with 3 locations to serve you: Fort Smith, Springdale, and Tahlequah. Call 452-4808.
Learn a new trade and get paid top wages with Mid-South Steam Boiler and Engineering. Mid-South is hosting drop-in interviews on Monday, October 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mid-South has immediate openings for code welders, maintenance technicians, industrial pipe insulators, and pipe fitters. Mid-South offers top wages and benefits along with industry-leading quality and service. Enter 3805 Pointer Trail East into Google Maps and join us Monday, October 10th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. to apply in person. That's 3805 Pointer Trail East, Monday, October 10th from 10 to 2.
The Kawasaki Good Times Demo Tour is back on the road and making a stop at Wheeler Power Sports on October 7th. Halftime will be live on location from 11 to 2. Experience your favorite Kawasaki motorcycles firsthand and join in on the good times with demos, giveaways, and more. Wheeler Power Sports is stoked to bring the Kawasaki Good Times Demo Tour on October 7th and October 8th. Bike availability subject to change. Motorcycle license required for test drivers. See WheelerPowersports.com for more details.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
When it comes to injuries, there's a couple that we're monitoring this week. I know a lot has been questioned about KJ Jefferson. We heard Coach Pittman at the top of roping. What about the latest on Miles Slusher and Warren Thompson?
You know, I think Slusher, I would think he's a little more beat up, a little worse than Warren. I think Warren, we'll see what he can do at practice today. Slush, I think that's going to be a wait and see. We'd probably know more on Wednesday.
I don't know what Warren Thompson's dealing with. I think Miles Slusher has some sort of calf injury, but we didn't see Warren Thompson against the Crimson Tide, and now we'll just have to wait to see if he's going to play against Mississippi State.
How much stock can you put in, and I don't think his coach just misleading you, but everything we've heard about injuries and maybe time frame of returning and, hey, this guy's going to play. So far this year, that's been 50-50 at best. So even if you kind of glean some optimism out of anything he says or negativity, I mean, so far – it's been kind of a 50-50 deal on what you think. So maybe we'll know a little bit more tomorrow, but I don't know what to think out of some of these statements.
I just think it's a college football coach that uses gamemanship. That's all. That's all it is, in my opinion. It's not just Pittman. It's everyone does that.
And I think
that's what I took away.
I think we also got to remember, particularly when it comes to these injuries above the shoulders, head injuries, it ain't up to the coach whether he plays. There isn't a lot of pressure a coach can put on a kid with a head injury to get out there. So, really the last person that gets to make the decision is the coach. And it's more on the player than it is the coach.
Got the announcement yesterday. Arkansas and BYU will be at 11 o'clock, or 2:30 on ESPN or ABC next Saturday. They're going to figure out next Monday if it's going to be, or next Sunday if it's going to be on ABC or ESPN. But we do know, again, the BYU-Arkansas game will be at 2:30. It's just either going to be on ESPN or on ABC. What do you know about this Blessings College Invitational that's on the Golf Channel?
Well, it's tough. I mean, obviously Arkansas is hosting on their home course. It's a good chance, first of all, it's a good chance if you've never seen the Blessings to go out for free and walk the course.
Oh, it's free?
Yeah, there's no cost to get in. So if you want to just go see the Blessings, you can do that. And it's one of the most difficult courses that any of these guys will play. That I've never played at the Blessings, and from what I've heard, it will just bring you to tears. I mean, you better bring a load of golf balls out there. So now these guys obviously are that. But I was told that somewhere in the past, the SEC or the NCAA want to have a conference tournament or a national title. They thought the course was set up too difficult at that point several years ago. So this is a tough golf course, and I think it's good to get college golf showcased at a premier event in Northwest Arkansas.
Just got a text from my stepmom who has an Alabama sticker and a part of her license plate, Crimson Tide. Apparently her car got keyed yesterday.
Well, hate that for her.
I can't. And
she has an Arkansas license plate with an Alabama sticker.
It's got it's Alabama sticker. She grew up in Huntsville and grew up an Alabama fan.
Not Madison County, Huntsville.
Yeah, different Huntsville. How about that? That's not good. I think she's had, I guess, a bad week outside of that. She said, I would have rather the Hogs have won, so my card didn't get keyed.
Well, if the Hogs had won, we'd take up a collection or something to get that fixed, but the Hogs didn't win.
They did not win. That's going to do it for your Hog Update this morning. It is brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
To the phones, Charlie and Camden. What's up, man?
Thanks. Every time you say it now, it's like, man, I wish one call.
Signal's a little choppy, buddy.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to. Call us back when you get a better area there, Charlie. So he struggles a little bit sometimes. Sparse cell coverage down in South Arkansas.
In Camden, Arkansas. All right, so I mentioned earlier it's National Taco Day. Apparently it's also National Vodka Day.
Yeah.
Vodka fill in the blank. You say cranberry. What is the proper?
Vodka Sprite's probably more of my go-to, but if I drink vodka, it depends on what you're doing. Is it everyday vodka or is it special occasion cocktails? I don't know. I mean, now they've got these flavored waters or whatever that you could get, the clear water, I think it's called. You get them at Walmart or wherever and mix some of that with it. Not bad at all. So vodka's not really, I mean, some people just drink vodka straight, but it's not like bourbon where you drink, hey, no one goes to the bar and says, give me a vodka on the rocks, you know.
It's usually a combination of something. Billy texted in double vodka.
Yeah.
Is that the proper, triple?
That's a good way to start.
A triple vodka.
Particularly after a game like Saturday, yeah.
I know vodka soda's pretty popular.
You usually mix some kind of juice with vodka. Orange juice for breakfast. It's probably more of a favorite
screwdriver
to start the day. Yeah,
that would be if I had my druthers, the screwdriver combo of a orange juice and vodka would be mine. Now, vodka Sprite's up there as well. To my knowledge, I don't know if I've ever ordered a vodka cranberry at a bar, but I rarely order.
Vodka tonic's probably the most popular of all of them.
That's another one. I rarely just order anything vodka related at the bar unless it's just brought to me or whatever.
JW says vodka and Mountain Dew. You call it a voodoo. There you go.
Ryan Prairie Grove, Tito's and Tito's.
There you go.
Tyler and Greenwood, kind of what we were saying, vodka Sprite and cranberry is the only thing that they drink. Colton Fayetteville, like we were saying, vodka and orange juice. Vodka lemonade, I will say, in Tampa, never had vodka lemonade before, but that was a special at McDidden's, one of the bars we went to. Tommy, it was all you can drink for $10 for 3 hours.
Like endless mimosas or something?
Yeah, it was whatever drinks. Yeah. So, whatever well drinks for $10 in Tampa, Florida, of all places. But yeah, vodka lemonade is really good. Really good. Now we're getting into other alcohol drinks. Yeah. Fisher texted in.
It's vodka day. That's why we bring it up.
That's why we brought it up. Now, he likes R&R with Dr. Pepper. R&R got me arrested, so I have not drank it since.
Right? Isn't that what it's for?
Yes, rich and rare. And it's anything but rich and rare. I don't know how you drink that, Fisher. Yeah. It's horrible.
You'll throw your back out bending down to get to the bottom shelf to get R&R because that's usually where you'll find it.
Of all
in most fine stores is on the bottom shelf.
And listen, I like the cheap drinks as much as anyone. I'm a guy that still loves me some Natural Light, but of all the whiskeys to consume, R&R is not at the top of the list.
Hard times call for hard decisions.
Josiah, I apologize. The most important one, vodka Red Bull. That outdoes screwdriver vodka orange juice. That's my bad. That should have been the first one on my list. And Phil texted in vodka martini. I guess that counts too. I guess there's vodka in my espresso martinis, but yeah, vodka Red Bull would be at the top of the list.
Would that be there for you?
I would say that, yeah. Got some good responses on that.
Yeah.
We got 20 texts in 2 minutes.
Yeah, we can talk about KJ Jefferson or vodka. Which one do you think gets more text?
You ever had vodka pineapple juice? That's what Scott in Cave Springs. Is that any good?
Not bad.
Not bad?
Yeah. You like pineapple juice?
I love pineapple juice. I like pineapples. All right, hour number 3 coming up. Tom Murphy's going to join us, get his thoughts on what happened when you took on the Alabama Crimson Tide and fell in the fourth quarter. Also, a little preview of what's ahead in Starkville. Tom, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog Sports, joins us next.
Cooler weather is on the way. Is your heating system ready? Let Ashley Air get your home ready with their $69 fall tune-up special. Ashley Air's trained technicians will check your system and make certain it's heating your home efficiently. It's just part of Ashley Air's 100% satisfaction guarantee. On game day, call the Hogs. When your heat needs repaired, call Ashley Air. Get your $69 fall tune-up now. Just go to AshleyAir.com to schedule your tune-up. That's AshleyAir.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
And this is Robert.
And a Stadium Shop First, this is Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's right. We finally talked Mom into a commercial. We are a mom and pop store after all. So, while I got you both here, what's going on with the stockroom? We have so much Razorback stuff for the football season, I have to go outside to change my mind.
Well, you remember last year how much trouble we had with the supply chain, just getting stuff in.
And how we were running out of sizes.
Yeah, and?
Well, that ain't gonna happen this year.
Yeah, we ordered enough stuff this year to last for quite a while.
Well, that does make sense. Folks, please come and get some of this hog stuff out of my stockroom. I am running out of space.
We're located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium, or you can call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486. Matt, why don't you tell them about the WW stuff?
That's shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it just doesn't get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
For a dependable, fuel-efficient tractor from a company committed to the future, choose a Branson tractor. Each of our tractors is backed by a 6-year limited warranty with models available ranging in horsepower from 22 to 58. You are sure to find the tractor that is right for you. Make sure you call or stop in today at the new location for Bush Tractor at 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Again, that is 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Or you can check them out online at bushtractor.com.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
You know, fall in the natural state really is the best. Football, fantastic weather, and some of the country's most beautiful scenery. At Rath Auto Resources, we love fall because prices are falling on all of our Rath road-ready vehicles, making this the time to save on your nicer, newer car. And it's so easy. Just call, click, or come by. Let one of our friendly, non-commissioned solution specialists do all the work. It's their job to help you find just the right car, get you extra for your trade, take care of all the financing, and make sure you leave in a car of your dreams at a price and payment that fits your budget. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center. Philip and his team know how to take care of your car. More importantly, they know how to take care of you with convenient, affordable total car care and savings like half off brakes and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Why wait? Start enjoying your fall now in a nicer, newer car from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
The Golf Nut has been Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994. Beat the heat, book a time in their hitting bays with the TrackMan technology, or play around on one of the many courses like Bethpage Black or Pebble Beach. Needing help with your game? Call Matt Brooks today and schedule a lesson using the simulator. For the best selection of clubs, shoes, and apparel, stop by the Golf Nut today, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, your #1 stop shop for everything golf.
Stop by your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith, where it's happy hour all day, every day. Stop by anytime and try our $4 cocktails. Choose from a Bloody Mary, Cape Cod, Tequila Sunrise, Whiskey Sour, and more. There's also $5 glasses of wine, and Miller Lite 12-ounce drafts are always just $2. Get to TGI Fridays for lunch Monday through Friday for our $9.99 burger deal, available until 3 p.m. and comes with fries and a soft drink, tea, or Miller Lite draft. Order online for pickup at Fridays.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Our weather for today, with high pressure in place, will be in the low to mid 80s, and we should get plenty of sunshine. For the overnight hours, our low near 50 and clear, and then we're in the mid 80s with a sunny day coming up on Wednesday. The fair weather pattern holds Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Tired of the ESPN broadcasters? Pause your TV and sync up the broadcast with Chuck and Quinn on hitthatline.com or your ESPN Arkansas radio station. KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
He has some mild symptoms. Those are things that our doctors look at. Each kid's a little bit different of how they react, and we've had guys back within 3 or 4 days. We've had guys out for 27 days. You know, he's kind of a wait and see, to be honest with you.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
40-year-old adolescents, felons, power drinkers, and trustees of modern chemistry.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Were you going to have a party here tonight, son? I don't know what that was all about.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
That seducer and spoiler must be stopped. He's extremely dangerous.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
Hour number 3 of the Morning Rush on a Toyota Tuesday. Tom Murphy's going to join us in just a sec. We'll get his thoughts on this Alabama game, kind of look ahead to Mississippi State, and also the conversation that he and the other Arkansas media members had with Sam Pittman yesterday.
Remember last year when we were at Wheels RV and they had the big barbecue rib cook-off?
Yeah, and they had the big old TV.
Yeah, well, they're doing all that again, except they made it bigger, and it's going to be the BYU weekend, so the 15th of October, their second annual barbecue rib competition. There's no admissions, free foods, free entry. If you think you can cook the best ribs, come on out and join them. They have expanded what they're doing with this show to include four-wheelers and mowers and tractors and trucks and golf carts and a whole lot more. And places like Clay Maxey of Tawnytown across the street, Springdale Tractor, Golf Cars of Northwest Arkansas, Jack Wills, and several other businesses going to be involved. They'll have that big 4K TV out there because the game's at 2:30, so you won't miss that. They're going to have face painting and bounce houses and axe throwing, but more importantly, free barbecue, beer, and fun that are all going to be there as well. So we're going to be telling you more. We're going to be there that Friday morning, the 14th, and get you ready for the second annual barbecue rib competition at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Get signed up now at Wheels RV for the second annual barbecue rib cook-off.
Tom, as always, good morning. Thanks for joining us on a Tuesday. I do want to talk about KJ Jefferson coming up in just a bit, but your initial thoughts. I thought you had a really good column following the Alabama. What was the title of Tom's column? Chuck said it yesterday. It's like dynasties are hard to kill, something of that nature. Just kind of your initial thoughts on the Alabama loss this weekend, Tom.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Well, I think the lead was dynasties don't die easy, and I guess it was a reference to the fact that, you know, Arkansas had all this momentum from the big comeback, and, you know, it was 28-23, and you felt like, wow, you know, they've got a chance here. And I do wish that the officials had seen the blatant hands to the face, because it would have been a half the distance, would have created a 3rd and 25. It was on the Jalen Milroe 77-yard run. And if they don't convert that and Arkansas gets the ball back, who knows how the rest of that game goes. But anyway, Look, we all knew this was going to be a brutal 5-game stretch. They're 2 games into it, 40% in, and they're 0-2. Should be 1-1, but they're 0-2, and they've got the injury issues, with KJ and his secondary, so they're going to really have to dig deep to come up with a game plan to slow Mississippi State, and then it's still tough at BYU, open date at Auburn. That's as a brutal 5-game stretch as probably anybody in the country plays this year.
Yeah. Tommy, we were analyzing the numbers earlier. Arkansas gave up 225 yards on 3 plays with that run you mentioned with Milroe, 2 from Gibbs. That's 70% of the rushing yards from Bama. It was 40% of the total offense of 555 yards. I know this seems like a repeat question, but how do you stop those big gashing plays that really gutted Arkansas's efforts to complete the comeback?
Yeah, those are tough. Arkansas had really kind of sealed Gibbs up through 3 quarters. At that stage, when the fourth quarter opened, the rushing was like 90 yards or 80 yards difference. I think Arkansas had, I wrote about it today. Arkansas had maybe 155 and Alabama had about 65, something like that. And then, then they went off, the Milroe play and then the 2 Gibbs. I can't tell you who didn't fit their gap, but clearly the second and the third levels, they didn't have guys that had good angles. However Alabama schemed it up or however their wide receivers blocked, there weren't safeties, right there to clean things up. And, that's where it hurts not having Cattle on. And honestly, you could tell Brini has been slowed. Slusher was slowed in that game. They were just dinged up. And even though that was a pretty deep position to open the season, it's kind of being exposed now. And they got to keep recruiting speed back there. And, maybe guys like Anthony Brown and Jalen Lewis can come on in the coming years and provide that speed and knowledge. But that was the biggest impact of the game with those 3 run plays that it turned everything around. I mean, it separated in the game and Alabama just kept pushing on the ground until they finally broke through.
It seemed like consistently they'd get the line moving left or moving right, and then the back would consistently find a cutback lane and find that first down. I mean, those 3 big runs, it wasn't missed tackles, it was just no tackles. I mean, just didn't hardly get a hand on Gibbs those 2 times. So it just seemed like there was always a misdirection or redirected crease that those backs could find.
Absolutely, and I mean that's part of the scheme. If you block it up right, then apparently, if you block it up right, then you've got a back that maybe has to get by one safety or get by the nickel or something like that. And with Gibbs' speed, really they contained Gibbs' speed for the better part of 3 quarters. And then in 1 quarter, he had the cutback lanes and just the free access into the second and third levels, and his speed made them pay.
Talking with Tom Murphy this morning. Tom, Mississippi State doesn't have the best rushing stats this year, but they did run the ball better against A&M. What do you think Mike Leach is going to be able to learn from what Alabama was able to do in that fourth quarter?
Well, I mean, they have to do it within their own schemes, obviously, but Arkansas's depleted secondary is, it's out there, it's on tape. And that plays right into Mississippi State's hands in terms of running their backs out on the edges, running stuff underneath, and throwing to everybody everywhere. They'll throw deep too. I mean, when they had to do the big comeback late last year, they got some deep throws on them too. So Arkansas, as Sam Pittman put it, close the air down, get closer to the ball catcher to get them on the ground. I like Dylan Johnson and Jaquavius Mark. I think those are both 2 really good backs. And I think Mark's hurt them some last year, and the kid Jaden Whaley hurt him, but he's way down in their receptions this year. So the depth of their receiving core is phenomenal. Will Rogers is completely comfortable in that scheme, completing 70-something% of his passes. This is a super, super dangerous offensive opponent for Arkansas.
Arkansas is 2-0 against Mike Leach under Sam Pittman. I know that Will Rogers would love to get back at them for how the game ended up last season. What kind of atmosphere is Arkansas walking into to Starkville at 11 o'clock?
Well, the cowbells, which, they're illegal in the SEC. They're artificial noisemakers, and so they're not supposed to be used. But they give an exception to Mississippi State for some reason. And I know you can argue that, the fans are observant to the rules, they stop ringing. But, honestly, it impedes your communication between plays and all that kind of stuff. And I wish the SEC would crack down and allow no artificial noisemakers in the stadiums. It's going to be a tough atmosphere. Mississippi State's feeling it. In the West, it's unrelenting. Arkansas still has to play State and Ole Miss and Auburn and LSU, and it's brutal. And we all knew this was going to be a very, very tough schedule. This was a game, I think, that was a swing game from the word go. I think circumstances have now proved that Mississippi State has an edge, in being at home, being with Arkansas's injuries, and so it's going to be tough. They use the double cloud coverage to great purposes against KJ Costello in the game 2 years ago, and quite frankly, Mike Leach got a little bit greedy in the fourth quarter when they had chances to kick a field goal, and they didn't do it. They went on fourth down, and Arkansas stopped them both times. Then last year, they got it going a little bit better. And so right now, I would say Mike Leach has a pretty good feel for how to attack the drop 8 coverage. Arkansas is going to use that some, but they also have to do some man, and that's where they've been struggling to keep guys, on a leash, so to speak, in man coverage. And so you can bet Mississippi State's arsenal is going to include how to attack both.
Mississippi State off to the 4-1 start, their best since 2000 when they were 4-1, ended up 8-4 that year. Getting to 5-1 for State this week would be the first time they've done that since '98 when they went on to the SEC championship game. How impressed should we be with the teams that Mississippi State has beaten? What's your real evaluation where State's at after 5 games, considering the opponents?
Yeah, and I didn't realize that stat about first time 5-1 since '98 if they win. So
yeah,
this is kind of the Mike Leach MO. He gets in somewhere, he kind of gets his culture going, and 2 or 3 years in, they start winning on a really consistent level. I think they have every right to believe that they're right there, pushing for next tier like Arkansas did last year, next tier behind Alabama. The road loss at LSU, I haven't seen it in detail to know what LSU did to slow them down. Obviously tackled well and all that kind of stuff. Going on the road and winning at Arizona, that was a handy margin of victory. Then you got Bowling Green, and then it was an impressive defensive showing against Texas A&M last week. So, they're a very legit team, and they have good special teams.
Yeah, State's also, I was looking at their percentages here in the note package. They run the ball about a third of a time, which is really up for Mike Leach team, and that's something. And now I think they were playing from the lead last week, obviously against A&M, and that skews the numbers a bit. But this is a team that statistically, Tom, is at least running the ball more than a Mike Leach team has in the past.
That's right, and I think they understand that as they improve as a program, if there's some leads they have late in games, you don't necessarily want to throw incomplete passes late in the game and kill clock for your opponent, and so you've got to be able to run it. And that's, like I said, I like Marks and Johnson, their 2 top backs. They probably ran it a good bit in the Bowling Green game. It has to be important for them, and you have to have some semblance of balance, even though parts of their pass game are like runs, extended run plays with those little swing passes and stuff.
Little dinky.
So Arkansas's got to defend the whole schmear in this game.
To put it in perspective, though, they're still getting 93 yards a game. So, on the ground. So let's not act like this is Alabama, because they're not. But they are just, for a Mike Leach team, doing a little bit more with it, Ty.
Yeah, they are, and they've got a good scheme. And I think on the other side of the ball, KJ or whoever's at quarterback, they have got to be really, really in sync with their wideouts on hot reads, what the routes are going to be, how they're going to cut things off, back shoulder throws, turn routes into slants or whatever, because Zach Arnett is running a lot of blitzes and sometimes some total blitzes where they're sending more guys than you can block, and you have to go to the hot route. So it's going to be incumbent on them this week to really hone in on what are my reads and where do I go with the ball. and get a sense for where the pressure's coming and what your relief valves are.
Tom, if KJ Jefferson can't go, how do you think Saturday's going to shake out with the quarterback situation of Cade Fortin and Malik Hornsby?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I do believe that KJ, when you look at the hit or his helmet hitting the ground, it wasn't that violent. I don't know his complete background on concussion-type injuries, and so I do believe it's going to be wait and see through the week. Now, on the other two guys, I think it would be very, very wise, all the stuff you've had from Malik Hornsby, that you practice it well this week. So you can give them different. You can give them the drop back. You can roll out some with Fortin and Hornsby. But don't forget, when Hornsby was in at quarterback in various games, he got to the edge against Penn State when they were a tired defense, and he just ran by them. And if they block things up and they can get Hornsby on the edge, there's a chance they can move the ball. And so I think there'll be good packages for both those guys, because while KJ's in his situation, those guys have got to get reps. And so it's important to have some diversity in what you do to make Mississippi State have to adjust in game.
Tom, what should Arkansas fans know about Cade Fortin?
Well, apparently he won the second team job several weeks ago, and we've seen him run second team on some of their fastball starts. His numbers before he got to Arkansas were basically 50% completions. I don't know the deep background on what teams he played against at North Carolina, but he had several games. I think it was his freshman year at North Carolina, and then he played in games at South Florida as well. So I'm going to do a deeper dive into the teams he actually accrued those numbers against. But, higher INTs than TDs at this point in his career. But they've liked him since he got in there. He's done well in 2-minute drives, and I don't think it's going to be like just total scramble mode. You saw his second series against Alabama. No matter who was in there on defense, they were good. He moved the ball. They went 40-something yards, and I think if Jaden Hazelwood cuts up that last fourth down, they probably convert there, and they're in goal to go. So, I think he would be a capable guy. He's just going to have to deal with, if he plays, he's going to have to deal with a lot of this blitzing pressure and the crowd noise, and sometimes that can rattle a quarterback.
So what's your reporter's intuition tell you about KJ and the situation and who plays this Saturday to start the game for Arkansas?
It's really what Sam Pittman said. It's wait and see. He didn't say it, but he hit his head, and as Sam Pittman said yesterday, he has symptoms. Okay, so that means you just get tested, right, every day during the week, and if you meet them, then you can be cleared. If you don't, I just think right now everybody's going to be on basically high alert because of the very recent Tua situation, and you want your players to be, fully, ready to go. We know it's a violent sport. When I played, I probably had 2 concussions, and that was back when we didn't know what they were. Got knocked out one time at Rising, and it's all about back then it was how tough are you? Go back in there. You just got your bell rung. Well, now they know that's not the way you do it. Yeah. And so I think they'll just be judicious. It's one game, and KJ Jefferson's health is a lot more important than one game.
Absolutely. But, if he has the symptoms as Coach laid out yesterday, can he practice? If he can't practice, what's this offense practicing on without KJ there? I would think the offense would look, not completely different, but somewhat different. They're not going to run as much of the RPO, I would think. So where does that leave your team in preparation for a game Saturday? I don't believe KJ couldn't play the game without practicing all week, but what's that do for your offense heading into a game if you practice one set of plays and one quarterback and one style all week and you do something different on Saturday? It makes me wonder what's the week leading up going to look like if you are able to play KJ on Saturday.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, Tommy. And as Sam said yesterday, Wednesday's the cutoff day. And I don't know if we'll hear if he practices Wednesday or not. Wednesday is a close practice to the media. And so, we'll just have to see. I don't think the RPO game is completely out of the question if Cade Fortin is the quarterback, because he had a nice run last week and he has decent running numbers. So, there are tailored things for each of those three quarterbacks, and these are smart coaches. They're going to scheme up Mississippi State, and they're going to give their players a chance to have a chance for success, whoever's in the game.
But none of us are going to believe that if KJ can't practice by Wednesday, but he's able to play on Saturday, he's not playing, right? None of us believe that, right?
Yeah, I think, let's just say he's cleared on, say, a Thursday. First of all, how does he feel? What does he think? That's the important thing. And then you make your decision from there. But we know he's a gamer. I mean, look, KJ's had a couple of ball security things this year, but think of where Arkansas football would be. I mean, they went 9-4 last year largely because of him.
Mm-hmm.
So, great kid. I hope he's feeling good.
Tom, we'll leave it there, man. Get some more insight on Mississippi State on Thursday, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, sounds good. See y'all.
All right, Tom Murphy with us here every Tuesday and Thursday on the Morning Rush. Hey, Burton Pools and Spas has the big hot tub warehouse sale going on in October. They have sold over 8,000 hot spring spas and hot tubs to friends and neighbors across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. No one else matches the sales and service that you're going to get at Burton Pools and Spas. And I emphasize service because that's what they're known for. They have hot springs, hot tubs right now in stock. This warehouse sale means savings up to $4,900 off and monthly payments as low as $80 a month with your approved credit. So don't miss the biggest hot tub sale of the year as we head into fall. It's right now during the warehouse sale at Burton Pools and Spas. They're in Springdale and in Fort Smith. And you can look online and see all the different hot springs models at burtonpools.com.
For all you Cardinal fans out there, I know you're excited to see Albert get to 703 last night.
Albert hits it down the left field line. Number 703. 703. It's history. RBIs, number 2,215 and 16. He's passed Babe Ruth. Second all-time in history in runs batted in. A historic blast. Number 703.
Just keeps hitting, man.
So, 11 behind tying the Babe at 714. So historical stuff right here. And I know, those playoff tickets for the home games in St. Louis are going to be about as highly coveted and sought after as anything you're going to find. Hey, we're headed behind enemy lines to Starkville. Our coverage presented by Mock Legal Solutions, a law firm offering reasonably priced legal services. In most cases, no hourly billing, and know exactly how much you will pay and never be billed for emails, text, and calls. That's Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
So let's come back to what Sam Pittman had to say about Malik Hornsby, how he's handling this whole situation. We'll let you know what Coach Pittman said next on the Morning Rush.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacale, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lam Lee has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at TulsaWoundCenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Searching for the best UTV on the market but can't find it with any of the big name brands? That's where the Intimidator comes in. An American brand using American-made steel and built in Arkansas. Intimidator UTVs offer premium components as standard, unlike those other companies. Items such as doors, skid plates, heavy-duty frames, and comfortable seating, all at one comparable price. See why Intimidator UTVs are the best choice by visiting your local dealer, Horns Outdoor in Hot Springs, or visit hornsoutdoor.net.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all. No House Advantage is changing the game by offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. Playing pick'em contests versus other people for a shot at winning $150,000 plus in cash. Download the app, choose a contest, select your player props, earn points for the correct picks, and climb the leaderboard for your shot to win big money every day. You can also test your skills versus the house and 20 times your entry if you hit all your picks. Bet on up to 5 player props, over-unders, or individual player matchups across every major sports league, including the NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, MMA, and NASCAR. Sign up now with your promo code HTL. That's promo code HTL at nohouseadvantage.com, or download the app on the app stores to get a first deposit match of up to $25. Make sure to check out No House Advantage today and experience daily fantasy sports redefined, because it's not just how you play, but where you play. You won't want to miss out on this. nohouseadvantage.com, promo code HTL.
Boiler.com. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
KJ's going to throw, pumps once, now he's going deep down the middle, got a man, Thompson at the 10 to the 5, touchdown Arkansas!
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
What's going on in Malik Hornsby's head? Well, Coach Pittman shared it a little bit with us yesterday, how one of his backup quarterbacks is dealing kind of with everything, the rumblings and everything else going on with the quarterback situation right now. We'll share it with you coming up in just a sec, Tommy.
Hey, when we have a night away from home and we got to stay somewhere in Northwest Arkansas, the only place Ty and I stay is at the Inn at the Mill. It's there in Johnson, exit 69, right in the heart of Northwest Arkansas, because whether we need to start our day in Bentonville or Fayetteville, we're close to everything. That's the cool thing about the Inn at the Mill. The other great thing is how unique it is, the unique qualities and the historic features and the actual old mill that's there as well. It's just relaxing and kind of serene to kind of be on the property, hear that running water. I don't know about you, but it relaxes me when you're somewhere there. Just the history kind of that place. But they give you the personal touch. Angie and Jennifer and the ladies at the desk, they know you by name. They know what you need based on based on being there. So if you've traveled for business or you're just looking for a great place to stay for a weekend getaway or a concert at the Amp or a trip to Crystal Bridges or whatever's going on, maybe you're going to a basketball game or a football game. Right now they're pretty booked up for football games at home, but the basketball games, now's the time. If you've got a few picked out you want to go go ahead and call the Inn at the Mill and get those reserved. 479-443-1800. You'll love it at the Inn at the Mill. That's 443-1800. Look them up online at innatthemill.com.
We were behind. Fortin's kind of the guy that is what I would call the passing. He's been in games. We were behind. And there's a lot more that goes into it, more than just who we put into the game. But Malik's handling it fine. I visited with him today, and he's fine. He'll be fine.
How many times do you think he's getting asked on campus this week about Saturday and all that?
First of all, what did you expect Coach to say? I mean, he wasn't going to say, well, yeah, we had a knockdown drag out in the office and, yelling. I'm not saying that happened, but what do you expect him to say other than, basically smooth things over? He's right. I mean, we don't see all of practice. We don't, get to see what goes on in the meeting rooms, who has a better grasp and understanding of the situations they need to put you in. And it's pretty clear to anyone that's watched that Malik struggles with passing the football. If you were going to make any kind of comeback or make any kind of noise to end that game on Saturday, you need someone that could throw the ball. That's why Cade Fortin was the right choice. I don't know why people are reacting the way they have. That the number of texts that we've gotten here on the show, that we've each gotten personally. What's going on with Malik? I don't know why this is such a surprise to everyone.
Well, it's what Chuck said yesterday. Most of our listeners aren't watching practice. Most of our listeners don't have the inside knowledge that Sam Pittman and the rest of the coaching staff has when it comes to actually evaluating what their quarterbacks look like. And the perception was, because you didn't really hear much about Cade Fortin during the big offseason appearances, a.k.a. SEC Media Days or something like that. Rare was it that Sam would touch on that. He would say
they didn't had practice yet in the offseason.
I know that, but you're talking about the fans that are paid. They're not paying attention to every little thing that's said or every little practice. So you're asking me why is that?
But we talked about it in August and how he was maybe the best passer of the three even, and had the best arm. He wasn't the best quarterback in total package, but I mean, this wasn't something that was lost on us by any stretch.
On us. But we've been wrong before. We've thought something was going to happen, so people have the right to question us when we make a statement about Arkansas's football depth chart. So, again, it wasn't a big of – you're asking the question, why were people such –
I don't understand the reaction, okay? I can understand asking the question, but some people think that, that there was a real error made here, and I just don't understand, I guess, the level of infatuation with Malik.
It's what I told you a little bit earlier. It goes back to the accolades and recruiting rankings. Malik's a 4-star out of Missouri City, Texas, that rose up a lot in 24/7's rankings before he landed at Arkansas. Cade's an unheralded kid out of Georgia, 3-star, that ended up at North Carolina, then USF and that. So when you see the shininess of it, basically, as a fan, you just assume that's how that player's going to pan out to be that said Ford star or whatever, which is not always the case. I think in Arkansas, there's numerous examples where a kid came in as a 2-star or 3-star, and by the time they left Arkansas, they were an all-SEC guy or in some cases an All-American. You're asking that question. That's the answer I would give you on that.
I think we've all learned we need to reevaluate that situation a little bit moving forward. Hey, we're brought to you by World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. We were talking over the weekend about DISH and the Disney company had fallen out of love. You didn't have ESPN, didn't have the SEC network, a bunch of your sports channels. They got that resolved like within 24 hours.
Thank goodness.
Thankfully. So, hey, if you're looking to make a move and you're worried about your streaming service not being able to really create the kind of enjoyment you want on Saturdays, being able to flip back and forth, record all the games you want. Here's the cool thing about the Hopper system with DISH and World of Wireless. You can record up to 16 games and shows at one time. You can watch TV on the go with the DISH Anywhere app. So they make it easy. The technology is not going to be beat with DISH. So call World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH for WOW, World of Wireless.
Jody and Harrison texted and says he felt like they were lied to. Hornsby was 2 on paper, and we heard from the other things. But correct me if I'm wrong, the depth chart said Hornsby or Fortin before, or did it just have Hornsby as
Just had Hornsby, but I mean,
well,
I don't think you're lied to because of what's on the depth chart and how many fans print out the depth chart. Now,
that would be I guess, a case example for Jody.
That doesn't mean you're lied to. That's just, Jody, I can't go that far with it. So
what if Fortin's not the 2 on the depth chart? What is that?
How many other spots where they don't go right down the depth chart based on participation? I understand it's the quarterback, we focus more on it, but I'm not going to say, boy, Sam Pittman lied to me because he didn't follow the depth chart. Each situation calls for something different. That game called for a passing quarterback.
All right, when we come back, we'll get into our SEC update. Stay with us. It is the Morning Rush.
ESPN Arkansas's coverage behind enemy lines in Starkville, Mississippi is presented by Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price. A law firm offering reasonably priced legal services to our hometown community.
It's time for the Burton Pools & Spas annual hot tub warehouse sale. With over 8,000 spas sold, no one else matches the sales and service that comes with a Burton hot tub. We have hot spring hot tubs in stock and ready to deliver, and they're all on sale. You'll save up to $4,900 off MSRP with payments as low as $80 a month with approved credit. Don't miss the biggest hot tub warehouse sale of the year, going on now at Burton Pools & Spas in Springdale and Fort Smith. Visit burtonpools.com for more information.
Looking for a better rate of return on your savings? Arvest Bank is ready to help with great rates on certificates of deposit. For a very limited time, you can earn 2.27% APY on a 7-month CD or 2.52% APY on a 14-month CD with a minimum deposit of $10,000. Seriously, what are you waiting for? Hurry into Arvest before this deal is gone. Annual percentage yield available for a limited time only. Other rates and terms are available. Member FDIC.
At Clay Maxey Auto Group, making the relationship has been what we've always been about. Can't control the market, but we can control who we are and how we act every day. And we're just going to be really good at being us. It's always been more than just selling cars or servicing them. It's a people business. We're here to take care of the customer. To me, it's important that it's about the relationship, not the transaction. Come visit us today at Clay Maxey Auto Group.
September is here, and at Frankwell Furniture, we want you to get this month started off right. So not only do we have no sales tax, but we are marking down every piece of furniture, bedroom furniture, mattresses, and dining sets in the store to unbelievable prices. That's right, marking all furniture down, and no sales tax. In-store, no credit check financing, family-owned and service after the sale. All American-made sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners at Frankwell Furniture. Best seats in the house.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $49.95 oil change, which includes 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today. For quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best in first-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Would you like to cut your utility bills without cutting comfort? Stay cool and save while enjoying the reliability and efficiency of a new Luxair HVAC system. Have your contractor call J&B Supply to hook you up with a Luxair system perfectly suited for your home. Luxair provides optimal comfort, energy savings, and lasting performance. J&B Supply, where the professionals go for all their HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs since 1968. J&B Supply with locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville.
You know, fall in the natural state really is the best. Football, fantastic weather, and some of the country's most beautiful scenery. At Rath Auto Resources, we love fall because prices are falling on all of our Rath Road-ready vehicles, making this the time to save on your nicer, newer car. And it's so easy. Just call, click, or come by. Let one of our friendly, non-commissioned solution specialists do all the work. It's their job to help you find just the right car, get you extra for your trade, take care of all the financing, and make sure you leave in a car of your dreams at a price and payment that fits your budget. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center. Philip and his team know how to take care of your car. More importantly, they know how to take care of you with convenient, affordable total car care and savings like half off brakes and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Why wait? Start enjoying your fall now in a nicer, newer car from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Ashley Air. Keeping your home comfortable is what they do best. Trust them with your heating and cooling needs. Go to ashley.air.com to request service today.
The big story in college football is the health of Bryce Young. Nick Saban touched on his health yesterday.
I know you're interested in the injury situation. Really, there's no updates on Bryce. You know, he's got a little bit of a shoulder injury. It's not a long-term, type injury. He's going to be day-to-day when he can get back to, throwing, and we'll just have to evaluate it day-to-day. So I can't tell you if that's going to be today, tomorrow, or the next day.
Think he plays against A&M in Tuscaloosa?
Absolutely. I mean, just being an armchair doctor over here. The way he was on the sideline, the way he was cheering on his team. Gary Danielson even pointed, the way he's shaking hands after the game with some players and some from Arkansas. I mean, let's just be honest. If Alabama had felt threatened in that game and felt like, if it really tightened up, he might have gotten back in there. But I think they didn't play him Saturday because they didn't have to. They felt like they could win the game without him. They won and covered without him.
So you think if Arkansas had taken a lead that he would have played in the fourth quarter?
I think if the offense had fallen apart and Milroe wasn't able to come in there and move the ball down the field, maybe if he doesn't convert that third down on that long run and Arkansas goes on to score, maybe his shoulder magically heals over there all of a sudden. I mean, does he have a sprain or a problem? Yes, but Saban even talked about it on Saturday. He's had issues before, and in a few days was fine. I fully expect him to play, and maybe not even play the whole game if Bama's able to do to A&M what we think they might do, get a comfortable lead. They may rest him a little bit more and make sure that shoulder's good and ready for Tennessee.
Some lines this weekend that have kind of shifted a little bit. Tennessee is a 2-point favorite at LSU. Arkansas is a 7.5 point underdog against Mississippi State. Florida is a 12-point favorite at home against Missouri. Auburn is a 30-point underdog going on the road to Georgia. Ole Miss is an 18-point favorite on the road to Vanderbilt. South Carolina is a 10.5-point underdog on the road against Kentucky. And then Alabama, again, about 24.5-point favorite against Texas A&M.
Of all those games, Tennessee, outside of the Arkansas game, Tennessee-LSU is the most interesting must-watch for me. I mean, that's the game that I want to see more than – this Bama and A&M got you on the edge of your seat? I mean, right now, no. Now, that game may turn out to be better than we expect. Georgia-Auburn? No. I mean, the marquee games certainly aren't on CBS, in my opinion, this week, and they may prove to be better, but that Tennessee-LSU game, pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, that's the game I've been looking forward to this weekend outside of being in Starkville to watch that, and I guess they'll be going on at the same time. Yep. So on one hand, I'll be watching the game, might have it on a laptop or something else, watching the Tennessee-LSU game in Davis Wade Stadium, just seeing what ends up happening to that. There's a good slate this weekend. Again, first time since 2017 you've had this many ranked opponents matching. I guess that was last weekend, but you do have a good SEC slate this weekend. But I tend to agree with you. Auburn and Georgia are going to be snoozers, and I think A&M and Alabama are too.
It's okay. I mean, it should be better because A&M Bama was supposed to be this blockbuster. CBS got sucked into that off-season verbal spat between the two coaches. And last year A&M wins, but that game. I mean, the Tennessee LSU. I mean, I guarantee you, someone with CBS wishes they had selected Tennessee LSU and not locked themselves in, or at least used the Bama-Tennessee game as one of their doubleheaders and put that in prime time. So, yeah, this was probably a swing and a miss in the TV selections to have A&M and Bama at 7 o'clock on Saturday night.
I know that some are happy, including Josh Heupel and Hendon Hooker playing in Death Valley at 11 o'clock. You know who else is happy to play at 11 o'clock? That's Sam Pittman.
I think any time that you can go on the road and play in the morning, that would be, or at least for me, that would be the number one time that we'd want to play. Anytime I think it starts getting later than that, and then the tailgates get better and the people get louder. I like the early one, to be honest with you.
That is an advantage, not having to play Starkville at night this weekend.
I love it. For what we do, I love it because we're done, and I can watch all those games at night. I can relax and enjoy the evening following the game. So it's a long day. It starts early for us, but it's over early as well. So I promise you that the team won't mind either, and the people that support the team. By the time the plane lands, you're back home for a late dinner in Fayetteville versus being out till 2 a.m. like they got back from Dallas after the A&M game.
Mm-hmm. I would guess that games ends about 2:30 or so. Go to Coach Pittman's press conference, get out of there by 3:30, and then make my way back to Arkansas. So listening to some games on the way back. See, I don't mind it being at 11 a.m. at all.
Yeah, Derek and I are going to do the post game show. So by 5 or 6 o'clock, we're wrapped up and ready to watch. Bama pummel A&M and whatever else is on that night that might entertain us. I don't know if Kentucky, South Carolina will be that, but
I don't think so.
Maybe part of that you keep an eye on Ole Miss Vandy. I don't expect that game to be very good either. So, Ole Miss right now 5-0. There's going to be a lot of people jump on that bandwagon. What are they, ranked ninth this week? I believe it is.
That's correct. Yep.
You look at they're playing Vanderbilt then Auburn before they play LSU. So 5, 6, 7-0. They should be a 7-0 team when they take on LSU. Now that's not a gimme at all. Their trip to Baton Rouge, and that would probably be a 2:30 game.
Who else plays that week?
Well, you got Bama, Mississippi State, so that depending on what happens the next few weeks, a lot of bye games. Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, all on byes. LSU and Ole Miss, and you got Vandy, Missouri. Ooh, talk about rough. A&M, South Carolina, and Tennessee plays UT Martin. So those are the games that particular weekend. So, yeah, I'd expect the LSU Ole Miss game to probably be either at 6 or 2:30.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
So, all right, that's your SEC update. It is brought to you by Ashley Air. Hey, cooler weather's already starting to arrive early of a morning. Is your heat ready for it? Ashley Air's trained technicians will come out and do your fall tune-up for just $69 to make sure your home is ready and your heater's ready for those colder days that are ahead. It's part of Ashley Air's 100% satisfaction guarantee. On game day, call the Hogs. When your heat needs repaired, you call Ashley Air. Get your $69 fall tune-up now. Go to AshleyAir.com to schedule it. That's AshleyAir.com, proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics.
It's National Golf Day. You're talking about cooler weather. I know a good chunk of you, now that summer is gone and it's the good temperatures of fall, you get out on the golf course a little more. And I was thinking about kind of the best golf course I've ever played, or the most nostalgic, and I've gotten a chance to play some decent ones here in Arkansas, and I'd like to keep crossing them off the checklist. But I actually just got this notification. One of my favorite places to play golf, and it's more of just a feel and a love, is Lakeside up in Fayetteville. In college, we would pay $7 to play 9 holes on a par 3 course, Lakeside at the Greens. And it was our Sunday afternoon tradition. Once football season was done, well, a lot of times we do this in the spring when there wasn't a lot going on Sunday afternoon, and we just played 9 holes, 2 hours. We'd have 3 clubs, our putter, our pitching wedge, and our 9-iron. And then we'd also have just a sack full of beers. That would be our Sunday afternoons. And I would say that of all the places, I played some decently nice golf course here in the state of Arkansas. There's some really good golf here. People always talk about Florida and some other places. Arkansas's got some good courses. But that, to me, is just by fair. I always get a good feeling when I step out on that course.
So are you asking favorite course or
favorite
most famous course, or what's your question on golf?
Doesn't matter. Just go in the direction.
Probably the most famous course I've played would be Southern Hills. Got to play it in 91. It was actually the same week as the PGA when John Daly won at Crooked Stick, and I was in high school, and someone did me a favor and got me and my brother on it at Southern Hills. So that was a lot. It was a lot of fun to go back over there and walk around this past spring for the PGA Championship. So, and I had been back since. I'd love to get back on and try that again over there.
Is it a hard course, or is it?
Huh?
It's just,
oh yeah, it's a very. I mean, they hosted a PGA Championship, so. But I mean, we wouldn't play the back tees like those guys did. Probably the neatest golf experience, and you're talking about par 3 courses, Top of the Rock, when they had the legends of, the Bass Pro Shop legends of golf up there, we got to go play there a time or two. Chuck and me and Tyler Wilson played in the Pro-Am up there once, and that was really neat. They had caddies from the College of the Ozarks up there, and that was really a neat experience. That's a really cool course. So.
Branson's got some great golf courses.
Well,
I've got a group of friends that are going there for a bachelor trip this weekend, and I think they're going to play golf at least once. But as close as it is to our neck of the woods, people talking, I referenced Florida a little bit earlier. You really don't have to travel that far for a great golf course.
Branson's a great golf destination. I mean, Johnny Morse built some great courses. That Branson Hills, the old Payne Stewart course, that's about as hard a course as you're going to play. I mean, it's a beautiful golf course. Mm-hmm. It could host a U.S. Open. I mean, it's that good a course.
I played Pinnacle a few times, Shadow Valley, and some other Northwest Arkansas courses. I've been in the Blessings 2 or 3 times. I've never actually played. I'd like to. I don't even know if I want to play there based on what everyone says.
I want to do it once, but I hear it is it's a sadistic mess. It'll just mess with you.
Eat me alive.
Yeah,
I got to buy like 36 balls.
Maybe more than that.
Maybe more than that. What are some other notable Northwest Arkansas courses?
I think you got most of them there. Pinnacle and Shadow, and the Blessings are probably the 3 that most people would point to. I think Fayetteville Country Club's a great golf course.
I also enjoy playing Paradise Valley when I've gotten a chance to play there. It's a good time.
Todd
as well.
Dunaway's over there's the pro, just a prince of a fella. I got to make a trip down I-40 later this week on Friday. A lot of people move around for Friday Night Football. We are already, my group, planning a stop at CJ's in Russellville.
Yeah, the CJ's in Russellville location on Arkansas Avenue, the original. They also have the Fayetteville location on Weddington. And whether you're stopping in to eat, dine in, you can take out at both locations. At the Fayetteville location, you can also use the app to order. You can go through the drive-thru, curbside pickup. And there's a variety of things that you can do for CJ's. In addition, Keith always wants me to remind y'all about the concessions in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. The East Concourse and 2 in the North end zone. So whether you're on the way to the game, whether you're just stopping in Fayetteville, you can eat at that location. And if you want to eat at the game, now it's kind of weird. We don't have a home game for a month, basically. You don't play a home game
more
until
than a month.
Liberty.
November 5th.
You don't play, and it goes Liberty, LSU, Ole Miss, right? Yeah, Liberty, LSU, Ole Miss, and then you're back into your schedule as Missouri in Columbia. So it's a while, but that means you can get CJ's in one of their great 2 locations prior to that.
All right, we got 30 seconds left. Today is Derek Ruskin's big 40th birthday. You want to go ahead and sing happy birthday to him here?
Don't want to sing, but Derek, do have a good birthday. Is he 40 yet?
Oh, yeah.
He's 40?
That's what I just said. Do you not listen to the show? I just said it's his 40th birthday.
I heard Derek Ruskin's birthday. I didn't hear the actual age part. Well, Derek, congrats.
Big 4-0
I'm just
today.
happy you made it to 40, man. Congratulations. That's a big age. It's big. Is there anything you get to do at 40 years old that you weren't eligible to do before?
Yeah, get reading glasses.
Is that right? Okay. Good luck, Derek.
No matter which road you take, the Toyota Tundra is the perfect way to navigate it. On your path,